Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Around the Ropes podcast right here on the new ATN Network. As always, you guys can find us on any social media site out there. And of course, I have to cough as always. Introduce my tag team partner. You know him. He was on the call this weekend, not only for Victory Pro, but he's on the call for Creative Pro. And merchandise of Sexy Ryan will be coming out soon. People, the one, the only Sexy Ryan himself. What's going on, Ryan?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Like John said, Sexy Ryan merch will be coming out soon, but I'll talk about that later on. So, John, I got a question to ask you.
Okay.
When I hold this pink bag, like pink purplish bag, what comes to mind?
That you're holding a pink.
Yes, Captain Obvious, but I don't know why. I'm looking at this, and apparently there was something dynamic that happened that you were at.
Oh yes, Dynasty presented It Was All a Dream this past Saturday. Before I get into that, I do want to mention we will have a guest on tonight. And guys,
can I do the introduction for this gentleman?
Well, he's not on yet, but if you want to introduce it, go right ahead.
So, ladies and gentlemen, coming on this evening around 9-ish is someone who is quintessentially the best unsigned talent in professional wrestling today. He's done it all. He has wrestled all, and he still needs to wrestle more because he's got another 30 years ahead of him. Hell, love to see him go one-on-one against John. Where this coming Saturday in Farmingville, New York, that's on Long Island, he will be taking part in the New York Wrestling Connection, or NYWC's biggest event of the year, Psycho Circus, as it turns 21. And he will be going one-on-one that evening in a, wait for the graphic to pop up, in a grudge match against Jorge La Bestia. And also, folks, that won't be the only time that myself and Mr. Blaine will be seeing the Greek god popping on himself. Because on April the 4th, he will be taking part in that massive Rex Fest during WrestleMania weekend in the city of brotherly love. Cannot wait to have him on and, potentially roast you. Probably me, but I'm used to it by now.
Yeah, that's probably a nice way to put it. We do got a comment coming in here from our buddy Archie, who goes, "Hey, John. Hey, Wish Joel."
Hi, Archie.
Yeah,
Archie,
guys.
Archie from, you mean Archie Bunker from Wish.com? Sorry.
Archie is a good guy.
I love Archie. He's awesome.
Yeah, he is a good guy. But yes, guys, we have a lot of stuff to get to. We'll get into WWE towards the end of the show tonight, but we're going to start off with what happened this past Saturday up in Albany, New York. As Dynasty presented, It Was All a Dream. It was their first time back at Empire Live since October, when their inaugural show, would you call it their inaugural show back in October?
No.
Their return.
Return.
And it was that you can feel the one thing I will say this, the way the crowd was, because they sold out that building, by the way.
No surprise.
No, because in October they didn't sell out that building.
Well, apparently it was all dream because apparently it was a sold out crowd.
And there was a feeling in the air that night that something special was going to happen. And what was special happened actually during the kickoff show when Seth Turner from the International Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame introduced competitive thumb wrestling.
I still can't believe it.
Honestly, it was fun. There might be a video out there of me taking on Billy.
There is video out there.
I know, but people have to go find. It's up. Just go to Facebook, you'll see it.
Yeah.
But there will probably be a rematch coming up soon. As far as the card itself, top to bottom, the card was fantastic. Every match meant something. Every match had a story behind it. I'm going to say this right now. Match of the night for me, by far, has to be Joey Conway taking on Jay Lethal.
Oof.
You have two guys. Now, you have to realize the backstory with this. Back at the October show, Conway was helping Vinny Pacifico. And if you remember back in October, Dynasty had that $50,000 raffle. Not $50,000, $50,000 prize, if you want to. And what ended up happening was Vinny Pacifico ended up winning, because Joey Conway helped, and Conway ended up turning on Pacifico. Jay Lethal came out, and Jay Lethal said, next time I'm back in this building, I want you in the ring. So they ended up finally putting the match together. And dude, the story these two told, was something else.
Well, I mean, it's no surprise because first of all, Jay Lethal is quintessentially one of the best out there right now, wrestling wise.
Yeah, and Conway, despite the fact I know he hates when people give him a compliment, Conway is somebody who, let's just call it what it is. He's one of the. You said it before about Papa Dunn. I think you can put Conway in that same category.
Oh, absolutely. Because also, little spoiler alert, Papa Dunn was the one that trained Conway.
So it's, and the thing also with Conway, I'm gonna say this right now: the best mustache in all of pro wrestling.
Yeah.
But so we had that. I'm trying to think of any. I'll go through the matches quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Opening match was a tag team match with Black and Yellow, who I actually had never seen in action before. Well, let me backtrack for a second. I saw Corey Jackson in action last week at the Immortal show, but I had not seen both of them together. Those two are over like freaking Rover, to say the least, because they are as soon as they came out, that crowd, even though it was I think over 300 people in that building that night, you might as well have had 1,000 people in that building. Took on the team of Black Rose, and I'm forgetting who his tag partner was. They never announced it.
Oh.
But then the weird part of it, and this part I didn't understand. If anybody from the show is watching, please explain it in the comment section. Did the match actually have an end to it? Because obviously we all know who came out afterwards, which we'll get to that in a second. And the match just came to an end. Like the guy just walked to the back and that was it. So I don't know if that was on purpose to have a no contest or that was because of what was happening. So we have to wait and see. Obviously, next one that came out was the aforementioned Patrick Clark, formerly known as Velveteen Dream. Basically cut a promo. He came through the crowd and we do got somebody who was there who did remind me. Ronald's chiming in here going, no, sir. Okay, Ronald, thank you. So they didn't have a decisive winner in that match. So Patrick Clark comes out, cuts his promo. Honestly, it was a good promo, but obviously you're talking to somebody who's been in WWE. The crowd was cheering for him the second day he came out. The one thing I will say though about that building, I said this after the October show, and I noticed this with the photos that were taken. I don't know if it's because of the dark lighting in that building, but I felt like I was on a goddamn movie set. But that's what made it feel so special that night. We then had the triple threat match with the two Canadian girls who I'm forgetting their names right now, and Taylor One Shot, who actually, which was kind of surprising to me, had surgery like a few days beforehand and had put out this whole post saying that she wasn't going to be competing. So all of a sudden shenanigans happen, and all of a sudden Rita Chatterton Now, if that name sounds familiar, that's because Rita was the first WWF referee, first female referee under Vince McMahon back in the 80s. She ended up getting involved in the match. She ended up, so the match, I forgot which one of the Canadian girls ended up winning. But an interesting turn of events happened after the match. As actually Kristen DeVille, former guest on the show, got into the ring and basically cut, I would say, a very fiery promo, basically saying that she was tired of how Taylor has been running roughshod, no pun intended, in that division. And she looks at, and obviously where we were standing, because I was standing towards the back end, so she was looking towards where the ramp is. And she proposed to Chris Envy, who's the promoter and operator of Dynasty, to make her the general manager of the Diamonds division. And after the show was announced that she will be the new general manager. So it's going to be very interesting how that plays out. Like I said, we had Jay and Joey Conway. I'm trying to remember the other matches off the top of my head. Oh, then probably the biggest surprise of the night. The biggest shocker to me was what happened after the intermission. Because coming out of intermission, we had Brother Jonas, who obviously, as many of you know, he's on his retirement tour right now, as he's be taking some time off, took on Wrecking Ball Legursky. Now, Ryan, you've seen both of these guys in action before, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You would think this was a squash match for Wrecking Ball in about 30 seconds, correct?
Give or take, yeah.
Okay, a minute to be generous.
Yeah.
How about the shocker of the night? Brother Jonas pulled off the victory.
Wow.
Yes. To tell you, that place popped. You thought freaking R-Truth just won the WWE Championship. And I'm not saying that to be mean, because I've said it to him before, and I've said it to other people. Brother Jonas, to me, is the R-Truth of independent wrestling.
And he actually agreed with it, too.
Yeah. And other people who I've said it to have agreed. We got some more comments coming. Okay. Thank you, Ronell. The winner's nickname was the Cobra, and the other one was Kristara, I think.
Kristara.
And he also agrees it was a fun match between the two of them. Now, I'm trying to think here, because you had that. Oh, then you had Fox Vineyard. Now, obviously, you guys know we had Fox on this show several weeks ago, and he was saying how he was going to have a live mic at the show. So he comes down, cuts his whole promo, ends up being challenged to a match by Sergeant Fury, who I've said this before, I even said this to him, the best fucking entrance music in all of indie wrestling. Also, it's partially due to the fact that I'm a mark for Metallica. I'll be the first one to admit it. Those two had a stellar match. And I'll say this right now. When the time comes for Dynasty to start putting like championship belts out there, wouldn't put it past me if we're talking Fox Vineyard, Sergeant Fury for a title within the next year in Dynasty. I'm just saying. Those two guys had chemistry big time. And speaking about Fox Vineyard, I just want to make a mention this coming Saturday, prior to the tapings up at UWE in Oneida, Fox Vineyard is running his own seminar. It's the first seminar that UWE is having. Go to Upstate Wrestling Entertainment for all the information and contact them as far as if you'd like to register. I think last I saw, I think it's $15, $20 for, which is very cheap.
Hold on, I'll go check while you talk.
Okay. But like I said, as far as with Sarge and Fox, I think you got. I'm going to put it this way: you got the Dynasty version of Cena and Orton. I think these are two guys who are going to feud forever, or however long Dynasty is around for. Main event. Well, I'm trying to think here because I know I'm forgetting a match. Main event saw Alec Olden, who was an interesting character, to say the least. He was basically his whole shtick is he is an American muscle, and Ronell also chimes in here saying he could see Joey Conway in that title picture. Yeah, I could easily see. Honestly, I could see a triple threat. I could see, realistically, I could see the three of them, Conway, Fox, and Sarge, going at it for that title. I'm going to say this right now. Here's your main event scene of Dynasty once the title gets put into the picture. I mean, Ryan, am I off on saying that?
No, you're absolutely right.
But what did you find out about the
25?
25? Okay.
And it starts at 11 a.m.
Yes. And folks, Fox is somebody who's been in this industry for a while, so you definitely want to take. I'll put it this way. Now, I'm obviously not a wrestler. I'm more of a klutz than anything. But if I had the opportunity to get trained by somebody who's been in this industry for as long as he has, I can see that. Sarge actually is watching us right now. And he goes, Fury wants and needs that title. So, yeah, like I said, there's your main event scene right there for Dynasty. Main event saw Velveteen Dream take on Alec Olden, which, Ryan, I don't know if you've ever actually worked with Alec before.
No, never even heard of him.
He, I think, he wrestled a lot. Oh, I can't even forget this one. Johan Nara, I think his name is.
Sure.
Took on Brad Baylor, who I'm just going to say this right now. Brad is a young guy, but he has that.
He's good. He's persona. Good.
Huh?
He's good. I've seen him before.
But the thing is, he plays the heel beautifully.
I've seen Brad at other places before. He actually did a couple shows out here before.
He's really good, and he took on Johan. Johan got the win, but honestly, Brad is somebody who I think we're going to be talking about the future, not just of Dynasty, but of indie wrestling as a whole.
Wait, hold on. You said Johan won?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Who booked that shit?
Not me.
I know. I know. I blame the booker for that one.
Take it up with the booker.
Oh, I'll definitely make sure his victory was just a dream.
Got another comment coming in here saying that Brad looks like Alex Wright.
Yeah.
I can see that, actually.
I can too.
And then he goes, Chile or?
I'm sorry. Is he watching, football? Gol! Chile!
Moving on. Obviously, main event was Velveteen Dream taking on Alec Olden. And honestly, wasn't a terrible match. It was not a terrible match at all. I'm going to say this right now. It was Velveteen Dream's first match in a wrestling ring in 3 years since he was let go by WWE. The guy hasn't lost a goddamn step. I'm going to say that much. Except the only part that I did pop on, there was one part, was the fact that they were able to play his WWE theme. Which I thought that I heard that. I was like, well, you also made the comment afterwards. Nobody would have recognized him if they would have not played that theme.
No, they wouldn't.
But like I said, overall, I thought that was a good match. Overall, good show. It has not been announced yet when their next show is, but obviously stay tuned to Dynasty's social media accounts for all your latest news in regards to Dynasty. But moving things along, because like I said, guys, Papa Dan will be joining us at the top of the hour. Ryan, you had 2 shows this weekend.
Oh, you remembered.
I'm not an ass.
No, you're just an idiot.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But yes, I had 2 events this past weekend. First of all, on Saturday night in Bayshore, New York, Victory Pro Wrestling presented its first event of 2024 as they presented the King of New York. Now this is one of their quintessential events where it's a one-night tournament featuring 12 of the very best that VPW has to offer, and only one will be crowned not only the King of New York, not only the 2024 King of New York, but will also earn themselves a guaranteed opportunity for the VPW New York State Championship at their anniversary event in April as they present Blood, Sweat, and 18 Years, which will be taking place on April the 13th. Now, the 12 competitors that were in this matchup, we had El Magnifico, Adam Kane, Alvin, or as he wants me to call himself now, Joel Gertner's personal bodyguard, Dr. Sleep, Anthony Gangone, Cade Lothbrock, Bufa Ao, Desmond Cole, Jake Lang, JJ Does, trying to think off the top of my head, folks. I apologize. It was a long day. And there were 3 other people, but it was 4 triple threat qualifiers where the finals would become the fatal 4-way elimination, which at the end we saw advances to the finals. Bufa Ao, which for those that aren't familiar with the name Bufa Ao, that is formerly known as K Pusha from a little independent team that dominated for years around the East Coast called All Money Is Legal. And he's been living in China for a while, but then he came back here. He's back here for a couple of months, and I think he's going back in mid-April. So he decided to come back home for a little bit. Anyway, it was him, the artist known as Jake Lang, Cade Lothbrock, and Desmond Cole. Now, here's how it all went down. Desmond Cole hurt his leg during his qualifier match because I believe, Gangone targeted it during the match. Targeted during the match. And, he was, it was showing a little bit of a hobble and whatnot. The eliminations were as follows. Bufa Ao eliminated Cade Loth. Oh, actually, when the match started, Jake Lang went after Desmond Cole and beat up his leg even more, to the point that Desmond Cole actually had to be carried out to the back in the locker room by medical. And then a little bit later on, Bufa Ao pinned Cade Lothbrock to eliminate him. Cade was pissed. He went under the ring, grabbed the chair, and knocked Bufa out with a chair in the back multiple times. And had him lay it out. Jake Lang saw the opportunity. He crawled in, covered 1, 2, 3. Bufa Ao eliminated. He's up celebrating, thinking that he won, but technically, Desmond Cole was never officially eliminated. So these two went back and forth, back and forth. Where in the end, your winner and the 2024 King of New York, the Big Bufa, Desmond Cole. Which means that at Blood, Sweat, and 18 Years, it will be Desmond Cole versus Dante Drago, or Drago was the best, for the VPW New York State Championship. Now, John, one thing that I think you said before numerous times, one thing that you love about indie wrestling is storytelling, correct?
Yes.
Well, what if I were to tell you that this story goes all the way back to September between these two?
Okay.
So back in September, Desmond Cole was the VPW New York State champion. However, Dante Drago stole the victory and became the champion himself. I mean, became the champion off of Desmond Cole. And Cole's desperately trying to, fight back to the title picture. But unfortunately, you had Dante and his little cronies of Delta House interfering and whatnot. And then, it's all going to come in full circle on April the 13th.
How do you figure?
What?
How?
What do you mean, how?
No, how? Oh, you're about to explain it.
Because Desmond Cole is finally getting that title shot opportunity from a title that he lost back in September.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Storytelling's been building because they've been building Desmond Cole as the ultimate underdog.
Yeah, that's what I like about indie wrestling. Not when promoters turn around and go, okay, let's take person A, put it with person B, and just let them have a match.
Depending on the people, that actually works, but
not as often as you think.
But also on that night, we had a few more matches scheduled. First of all, we had, as John is always looking down at his phone as usual,
because I'm actually trying to share the show so more people can see us.
I mean, if you haven't followed us already, what the hell is wrong with you people? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So, for the VPW Women's Championship, the debuting Your Homie Doesn't Know Me, Gabby Forza, took on the current champion, the unwilting Tatiana, where Tatiana kind of cheated in winning. So could this potentially be the start of a heel turn for Tatiana? Who knows? Also, for the VPW Tag Team Championships, the current champions, the Rat Bastards, took on Pretty Wild, which is the team of Will Strauss, and I'm not even kidding you when I say this, and I know John's going to go girl scream crazy right now when I say, your future boyfriend, Tristan Kyle. Wait, it gets even better. Their entrance theme is the song Boyfriend from Big Time Rush.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, actually, I can't say anything. I've been to a couple of the, Create a Pro, and they start belting out with I Want It That Way.
Nothing wrong with that.
Or like when Vinny Pacifico comes into Pro Wrestling Magic, and it's Larger Than Life.
Again, nothing wrong with that. So, during the matchup towards the end, you see Adam Kane come out of Kane Industries along with his manager Silky Smooth, just standing by the entranceway, just eyeballing, the match and whatnot. But then out from the crowd comes friend of the show, Dr. Sleep, Anthony Gangone, and he knocks out Pretty Wild, which the official result was that Pretty Wild won the match by disqualification. Because the story here is that back at the last event in November, Adam Kane was taken out in the locker room. How apropos, where on that night, it was supposed to be Kane Industries taking on the Rat Bastards for the tag team titles. Adam Kane got knocked out mysteriously. And, they were trying to figure out who it was. So obviously the Rat Bastards were there, with their antic ways. That match never happened. So Adam Kane gets on the mic and first of all calls out a fan because earlier, and I'm going to say this also, if you are a fan, do not get involved in any of the fucking wrestling, because there was a fan in the front row that night who actually took Silky Smooth's real cane and broke it in half. I mean, I know some people out there would, try to put themselves in that picture. Mm-hmm.
No, I wouldn't.
Not you, but you know exactly who I'm referring to. I don't know why my brain is screaming orange.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. I know some guy who thinks he's main event.
Just don't get stuck in traffic. So, Oh, which by the way, John, I broke a new record. I can deadlift 250 pounds now.
Moving on.
That should be a soundbite. Moving on. What did I do? Oh my god, imagine having a soundboard. Anyway. So in the end,
in the works.
In the end, for March 16th, which is their next event, as they present before the Storm, it'll be finally Kane Industries taking on the Rat Bastards for the VPW Tag Team Championships. And then, the semi-main event of the night, a massive 6-man tag, no-holds-barred clusterfuck. As on one team, you have Jay George, Nick Robles, and the VPW New York State Champion Dante, Draco was the best, taking on the team of the best in the world, Steven Azure, the GOATest of all time, Bobby Orlando, and the VPW champion, the one-lunged angel, Bryce Donovan. Now, when I say that this was no holds bar, they went all over the fucking building. And there was one point also that Jay George took Bobby Orlando, laid him down on a ladder, and he actually climbed on top of the ladder and pretty much gave Bobby a curb stop on the ladder.
Oof.
Yeah. So all in all, a fantastic night of VPW wrestling. And I'm gonna pull back the curtain a little bit here. If John sees this and yells at me, I don't fucking care. I love hearing praise like this. Before the show even started, this was actually one of their bigger pre-sales that they've had when they moved to this building at 150.
Wow.
We added another, maybe double that. We ran out of chairs.
That seems to be a theme this weekend.
Yeah. And and of course, because some people that go to VPW also go to Creator Pro, where, of course, as I'm getting in the ring, you hear those normal people doing the trying to fuck me up and whatnot, but I'll never do that.
The one thing I got to give you props on, anytime I've seen you in the ring, you never break character.
Well, especially when you had 300 plus people in that building, which I've never heard it in that building before, chant Sexy Ryan completely out of the blue. To even the promoter was going, "Kill fuck, what about me?"
Well, Sexy Ryan, I mean, is over.
Apparently so. One
quick question. When you do have merchandise coming out, do I get a discount?
I'll think about it.
Okay.
I'll think about it. Maybe I'll give you the brotherly discount and charge you double. I don't know.
Or how about I'll pay you in 2 hot dogs
and a handshake.
Well, problem is it'd be tough to do it at the same time. You need both hands for the hot dogs.
No, you pay me in Wawa. There you go.
Oh, that's easy.
Which is equivalent to like $20. But folks, VPW returns to Bayshore on Saturday, March 16th from Pro Game Athletics in Bayshore, New York. Tickets went on sale yesterday, and within a span of 6 hours, 90% of front row sold out.
I'll be at another show March 16th.
I know you will.
No, go ahead.
You will be at a show because you're going to be sitting in the front row, pretty much praising to the gods above that a certain team that's there handcuff you. That way you can live out your fantasy.
Well, actually, not even that. I get to see Sean Carr, Facade, and Spencer Slade in action.
I've seen them already.
All together?
Actually, yes. It was actually a 5-way.
We'll talk about that later on.
Yeah. But March 16th, and also it was broken earlier today that also on March 16th, yours truly will be appearing at big events in Brentwood, New York. Courtesy of our other friends at Beyond the Barricade, aka Papa Dank.
Which actually, I saw that post. By the way, good shot they used of you. Now, here's my question. Are you coming in as the person who's going to be doing the autographs?
Yes.
Okay, that leads to my next question. I thought you didn't want any part of big event. I thought you didn't.
Well, actually, no. I'm the one that's giving out the autograph. I'm the one that's doing. I'm the guest.
So, like how we did with Wrestle Bash.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
Where at that same table, I will be joined by the Cotton Candy Princess, Tiffany Avatar, and some guy named PJ Savage.
Okay, yeah, I was just asking because it was a little confusing with the post. I was like, I thought he.
It was a last. Trust me, it wasn't. It was Papa Dank bringing me in.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, no. I'm not doing the vendoring shit. I'm done with that shit.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that's what it was. That's
Nope.
how. It was. Okay.
What happened was his graphics guy is on vacation this week. So he literally just made one, as part of the moment. He's gonna make a better one later on. So folks, if you're in Brentwood from 10 to 4, stop by Suffolk Community College, go to big event and stop by and say hi to Tiffany Avatar, flip off PJ Savage, and then give Sexy Ryan the biggest hug you can. What?
Nothing.
It's called promoting, John.
Yes, I'm fully aware of that. Trust me. Believe me, I have a lot of stuff to promote at the end of the show tonight.
Yes, you're going to promote your 27th colonoscopy.
No, actually 28.
At this point,
be accurate.
At this point, the doctor's going to doctor should just bend you over and say, "Okay, open wide. Okay, wee."
Hi, Maron.
So, but again, all in all, Victory Pro Wrestling, they've built a lot in the last few years since I've known them under previous management, which I will not be discussing on camera. But they have something going on, and it's getting a lot of buzz. It's getting a lot of recognition, and it's there's a reason why Victory Pro Wrestling has been around for almost 20 years.
Really?
April is their 18th year anniversary event.
Oh wow.
18 years of Victory Pro Wrestling. Then the next day, on Sunday, I was back once again to Create a Pro Wrestling from Lynbrook, New York, as they presented Top Guys Only. Which, by the way, you can watch the entirety of the event on the Major Pod Network's Twitch channel. Now, you didn't see this. You didn't. For those that were anticipating the show, you did not see this on camera, but I think it will be released soon. We had a 6-man tag team kickoff show, or chickoff, where on one team it was the team of Pat Fitzpatrick and Jay Macias, QGTM, Quick Get That Money. Oh, Queens gets that money, and Will Strauss. And on the other team, you have the team of TK Wild, Cliff Marshall, and El Magnifico, which saw those 3 individuals victorious over QGTM and Will Strauss. And then we kick off with the main show, where, as usual, in the beginning, they had to film my intro, and you hear the entire fucking sold-out Lynbrook crowd chanting Sexy Ryan. Let me say this. It started chanting before I even walked out of the curtain.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Oh, God is right. But again, we had another sold-out crowd, and we kicked off with the Cap TV Championship as the current champion. The artist known as Jake Lang defended against Phil Cardigan. Very good matchup between these two, but in the end, Jake Lang was victorious over Phil Cardigan. And then we moved on to the Creator Pro Mayhem Medal. Originally, it was supposed to be a 5-way scramble, But unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, the Big O could not be able to attend. So it ended up being a fatal 4-way match as Tristan Kyle, John's future boyfriend, Love Doug, and wow, and Jay George taking on the current holder of the Mayhem medal, the sweeper, Eddie Pavetti. What a fucking match this was. I mean, you have Eddie Pavetti and Tristan Kyle, who basically are somewhat of the cruiserweights of Creative Pro. Love Doug, very well known in the New England region with his style. And Jay George is Jay George. I'm just kidding. No, Jay George is a phenomenal competitor as well, which ended up seeing the sweeper, Eddie Pavetti, taking, being victorious and regaining the medal. Now, we move on to our next matchup as Nick Robles took on Liam Davis in a submission match. Now, the story behind this is, John, that favorite word, story. Hold on, I gotta do this. Story. Where for months on Cap TV, which, by the way, you can watch every single Monday on Creative Pro Wrestling's YouTube channel, cheap plug. Liam Davis has been on a wrecking ball, no pun intended, as of late, and just choking out opponents. And one person he's been targeting for months has been Nick Robles. So at the last set of tapings, Steamboat Willie, Nick Robles has had enough, and he actually challenges Liam Davis to a submission match, which Liam agreed, and these two had a phenomenal submission matchup. It was basically almost on the same line as watching like a Zack Sabre Jr. versus Bryan Danielson style match.
Wow. Okay.
Very good match between these two, which ended up seeing Nick Robles become victorious over Liam Davis, and also this could potentially put him in either the Cap TV title picture or even the world title picture. Who knows? Next up was the first semifinal matchup of the Women's Championship Tournament as the Latina Spice, Nat Castle, accompanied to the ring by Sebastian Amor, took on Little Mean Kathleen. And very good match between these two. Little Mean Kathleen is well known in the New England region with Limitless, Beyond, Wrestling Open, Chaotic, all phenomenal competitor. And Nat Castle is, a Creative Pro original. So Sebastian Amor, who apparently is louder than me on the microphone, because as I'm introducing Nat Castle, I hear him say Nat Castle, and I lean over and say, "Hey, can I do my fucking job?" Pretty much, Sebastian Amor is the annoying walking speaker that you can't get rid of.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Kind of like
You have a Twitch there?
No, for some reason, I gotta stretch, something like this. So John looks dazed and confused right now. So anyway, of course, Sebastian Amor trying to get, part of the shenanigans, and out comes, just describe himself. No, that's basically everyone involved in the Asylum Wrestling Group. I kid. Only the 1%er of that group. So is that who I think it is, by the way, too?
Yeah, Shiv.
Shiv or Chiv?
Shiv. Andy.
Oh, Shiv. Oh, you think of Shiv like a stabbing weapon. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So yeah. That's what they're called, dude.
You go on with the Creative Pro show.
So out comes Utic Susio, handing Nat his chain, which she uses on Little Mean Kathleen, and then she hides it after the referee being distracted, which ends up seeing Nat Castle become victorious and go on to the finals of the Creative Pro Wrestling Women's Championship Tournament, which now sees Nat Castle, Sebastian Moore, and Utic Sucio as now collectively known as Los Tóxicos. Our next matchup is the Top Guys 10-man tag match. On one team, you have the team of the Even Stevens, Steven Azure and Steve Somerset, the Creative Pro Tag Team Champions, Adrenaline Express, which is VSK and Eric James, and the current Creative Pro Champion, the Dime Piece, Aaron Rourke. Now, on the other team, you have the team of Midlife Express, which is Kevin Tibbs and CPA, which, by the way, has one of the best entrances in wrestling, which is Creed's, which is a Creed song. Not Higher, the other one. Also, the goatess of all time, Bobby Orlando. The most professional wrestler, Brian Myers. And, the world-class maniac, Eric Young.
How was his reaction?
From the crowd?
Yeah.
Oh, the crowd loved him. The crowd absolutely loved him. Because he, come on, Eric Young is a freaking legend in this wrestling business.
Oh, no, I completely agree. I was just curious to know what his reaction was from the crowd.
I'll explain more of the crowd afterwards.
Okay.
After the description. So, which ended up seeing the team of Eric Young, Brian Myers, and the rest of that team all become victorious by all of them doing not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 synchronized sit-down power bombs. No, sit-down pile drivers.
Keep going. I'm listening. I want to see who commented, but it's through the Around the Ropes group, so I have to see. Oh, the guy who I personally said is one of the best photographers in upstate New York, Andrew Edler, chimes in and goes, "Hey, John, great meeting you at the show on Saturday. Popping in for a minute in between kid bedtimes." Andrew, first of all, hopefully your son is feeling better. I know he wasn't feeling well the day of the show. Andrew, you are a phenomenal photographer. I saw the pictures, and if and when the time comes for me to give out autographs, those are the pictures I want to use. And
yep, Stang and Steve Believe, baby.
And then Andrew chimes in here just saying, Andrew, it's the truth. One thing, Andrew, you'll know about me, and you can ask anybody who was at the show on Saturday. I tell it as is. But Ryan, go back with the Creative Pro show.
Can I continue? Thank you.
I was reading the comments.
You can't wait till afterwards? I'm kidding, Andrew. I actually saw the photos and they came out fucking awesome. So mad props to you, and hopefully one of these days you and I will cross paths because I want a photo like that for myself. And also I actually dealt with another photographer from Long Island, but I think he's like one of the best up and comers as well. And Matt Flood, very awesome photographer, and knows how to take really good shots. So back to Creative Pro. After, all 5 of them gave the synchronized sit-down pile drivers, we go into intermission. And then we come back from intermission. Now, one of the key things that was happening on this night was that, as recapped by myself on Cap TV for months, there has been an individual by the name of Cal Starvins who's been showing up to Creative Pro events with a petition to reinstate Evil Kip after Bryce Donovan beat him back in September, where the stipulation was, should Evil Kip lose, he'll be gone from Creative Pro forever. And gone from Creative Pro forever. And he's been showing up since actually November. And back at the last day was in January, he says to He said the fans actually were signing it. I signed the petition. Everybody wanted Evil Kip back. But there was one signature that was not on the petition yet. And this individual said that he was going to wait until the day of Top Guys Only to make his decision, which was Bryce Donovan. So Bryce comes out and he says, should I sign it? Should I, he was a bad guy. Should I sign it? As he's about to make his decision, the general manager herself, Ariella Nix, comes out and says, who the hell do you think you are? Pretty much pulling a Brandy Rhodes right now. If you remember Brandy Rhodes saying, who the hell do you think you are? Saying that you don't make the decisions I do, and then right behind her at the curtain comes the Birds of the Sun, which is GKM and Leo Sparrow, with Cal Starver sitting at ringside as well, and Ariel and Nix decided to do a handicap match. Wow, shocker! Which saw Birds of the Sun took on Bryce Donovan. And Bryce is slowly keeps on slowly going to the corner, thinking that it's a tag match, but it's not. With Cal Starvin still sitting there at ringside, he hands him the clipboard. He's about to sign and whatnot. But then Birds of the Sun, takes the clipboard. They break it, and Cal jumps the barricade. Security comes in, trying to pull him back. And after, the Birds of the Sun gets knocked out by Bryce Donovan, Bryce, takes the sheet of paper and a pen. And as he's wobbling back and forth, like, some people after a really rough Saturday night, after drinking so much, he signs the sheet of paper, pretty much reinstating Evil Kip, where literally 45 seconds, maybe even a minute later, you hear Evil Kip's theme, which, by the way, his theme is Against All Odds by Phil Collins. The crowd literally gets up on their feet, waiting for him to come out.
Guess this here.
Let me finish the story, then let me finish this. Which Evil Kip comes out to the biggest pop that I've actually ever heard in Create a Pro. Even more so than mine, which ended up being Evil Kip defeating Bryce Donovan. And then at the end, they both hug out of respect, and then they go on their merry way. We'll continue with that because our guest has arrived. So, John, may I?
Well, right ahead.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys or girls, children of all ages, it is time to bring on our featured guest of the evening. This gentleman, me personally, I have known for a very long time. Also, granted, he's probably going to tell me otherwise, but he is one of my favorite, if not my favorite person to work with on the independent wrestling scene. He is the greatest unsigned talent in professional wrestling today, where this coming Saturday, he may or may not show up at NYWC's Psycho Circus as they turn 21. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome to the podcast the one and only, the Greek god, Papa Don.
Well. Listen, I was a little annoyed that you had me waiting to finish your story, but after an intro like that, you're forgiven, my son. You're forgiven.
Thank you, sir.
You're good. So, what's up, ladies? How was everything?
Doing good. How about yourself? I know it's been a while since we've had you on.
Yeah, well, that's your mistake. But anyhow, I am doing well, better than most. But you know what? That's because I'm me. So anyhow, and by the way, I will be there this Saturday. My demands from NYWC were met. I did get my confirmation email from them, so I will be there.
Well, you heard it here, folks, because I actually tuned into Papa Dengs from Beyond the Barricades last night, saying you may or may not show up depending on the demands, but now they've agreed. So for our viewers who really don't understand what's going on, since we're going to go right into it, why don't you explain this little story you have with Jorge La Bestia, how this came all into fruition?
It's not even a story, man. This is legit what happened. 2 shows ago, I was wrestling in the gauntlet, and I beat Jorge. He was one of the participants, and his best friend was a fan in the front row. I didn't know his best friend, but he was pissed, I guess, because his best friend lost and I beat him. So I go to try to beat Giorgio, who's the Fusion champion. He was the last participant in the gauntlet. And this kid decides to throw liquid on me. It was water, lo and behold. But at that time, I didn't know what the hell it was. It could have been piss, could have been acid. I mean, you hear the stories from back in the day from the old timers, how they used to get shit thrown on them and batteries and rocks and piss and all this stuff. So for a second, I was like, what the hell is this? And I get rolled up 1, 2, 3. Giorgio leaves, knowing he stole my victory and got out of Dodge. Smart guy for once in his life. I mean, you see his haircut? Not always, but that one instance in his life, he actually had some brains. So I went to go talk to this fucking idiot and tell him, yo, stay on your side of the guardrail and don't ever interfere. Then he put his hands on me. So you know the golden rule. You're a fan. You never cross the guardrail. You never put your hands on the wrestlers because 1, it's trespassing. 2, it's assault. So I could have brought his ass up on charges, but I didn't because I'm not a snowflake millennial or Gen Z snowflake like some of these young kids today that can't handle things like a man. So I grabbed him, pulled him over the guardrail, smacked the taste of cock out of his fucking mouth, and then Jorge runs out and breaks another golden rule. The locker room has the back of the locker room. You never go against the locker room. You look out for one another. So instead of him putting the boots to this fucking guy, but again, I didn't know it was his friend till after the fact. He starts attacking me. So him and I had a little altercation. And then I get in the back and get reprimanded by NYWC management. Meanwhile, I'm the victim. Telling I was defending myself. Look at the fucking tape. Okay. I get the video. I throw it on my social media. Telling people this is how not to act. The first video.
I remember seeing that video too. I remember
blows up. Gets almost 100,000 views here, there, and everywhere in between. Right? Lo and behold, last month I go out. I'm about to wrestle Jorge. Well, who do I see in the front row? My former manager, John Shane, from when I was in the tag team, The Solution, with my brother, Ed Toscano. May he rest in peace. Right? For all you guys don't know who maybe weren't born yet or were still in your father's ball swinging with your brothers and sisters, I was in a tag team many, many moons ago called The Solution. Myself, Papa Don, before it was Greek God Papa Don, just Papa Don, and Havoc, Ed Toscano, who passed away. John Shane was our manager, and we were a staple in tag team wrestling on the independent scene. We went everywhere, won every title, and we had great matches with everybody, right? So, case in point, I see him there, and the problem was this. I've been asking him for months, calling him up, leaving messages. Hey, John, come down to NYWC, bro. It's not too far of a trek for you. Come say hi to the boys. Let's have a beer. Tell them some stories. You know, hang out with the guys. He never got back to me. Not a text, not a call back, nothing. So when I saw him in the front row, I popped. Like my inner self popped. So I went over to greet him, and then I find out that he's there because that fan, who's coincidentally Jorge's best friend, is his fucking nephew. You can't make this shit up. How am I supposed to know that it's his fucking nephew? You know what I mean? So he came to rectify the situation. Instead of calling me, we could have fixed it behind closed doors. He had to sit in the front row. And what happened was, you know, I'm going to be honest. I'm a hothead, you know. There's some chick who's trying to give me the business, you know, verbally. And she was on the plus side. She was a fat fuck. So, you know, I gave it right back to her. No offense, guys. And then I gave it right back to her, right? And she got pissed off because I called her tons of fun. And she started berating me. Shit, if I wanted to hear a woman yelling at me, I would have stayed home and listened to my wife. But regardless, point is, she says, don't you dare say it one more time. Oh, you're going to tell me not to say it one more time? You're going to try to go 15 rounds with the Greek one? You're out of your fucking mind. So I put her back in her place verbally. I told her, I said, I thought black had a slimming effect. I guess I'm wrong. Forget it. She blew a gasket.
Oh, shit. So
then when John says that I was already pissed because she was just trying to suck all the air out of everything. You know what I mean? And that's not even because she's fat. It's just because she was just trying to, you know, have her moment. You go to a wrestling show, you heckle the bad guys. The bad guy says something to you, you can't get mad. It's like going to a comedy show. The comedy is if you heckle a comedian and he picks on you back, it's part of the show. Just deal with it. But anyway, I digress. So I'm already pissed. Then I go find out that this is his nephew. He tells me. So I lost my cool. I told him, I said, you're lucky you're an old battered man with a cane. Because if you could stand up, I'd smack the shit out of you. So then I saw the fire in his eyes that I used to see back in the day. And he got up in my face, so I smacked him. Maybe I shouldn't have smacked him. But I did. Smack some sense into his fucking senile ass. But I digress. Then his nephew makes a beeline trying to hop the guardrail, puts his hand on me. So I gave him a right hook. Right in his fucking jaw. Down goes Frazier. Boom. Then NYWC management starts barking orders. They come out trying to rectify the situation and calm everybody down. I get taken to the back. I get yelled at. They dock my pay and they throw me out of the building. Next day, I get a call. Jimmy, and for you people out there, Jimmy in Greek is Demetrius. So Demetrius Papadon is my real name. They go, Jimmy, stay home. We'll use you when we need to use you. We need things to cool down right now. You're bringing too much heat. A heel bringing too much heat, that's my job. But I digress. Then I post that video online, and holy shit, it goes nuclear. Just on Facebook alone, I get over 100,000 hits. These greedy sons of bitches at NYWC, like I said in the promo, they said, oh, light bulb, cha-ching, let's whore this situation out. Let's pimp Papadon and Jorge out. We'll make money off this. And that's the reason I did the promo. Because I'm not going to let them try to make money off of me after treating me like shit. I'll do business because let's face it, I'm a professional. But now my price has just skyrocketed up. So told them my demands on the promo. I sent them my number. They agreed to it. And we're good to go Saturday. I'll be at Psycho Circus to bitch smack Jorge Bestia from pillar to ring post, as cliche as it sounds. But I'm letting you know right now, it's not going to be a match. I'm not going there to lock up with him and do fucking arm ringers and arm drags and all that other fucking nonsense. I'm coming in there swinging, and it's going to be real. It's going to turn into a shoot. I'm not going to. And I know when people say it's shoot, it means it's really a work because he's trying to knock down the fucking fourth wall and this, that. I'm being serious. I don't like this kid. He cost me money. And now he's talking shit behind my back. So it is what it is. And if John Shane shows up or if his best friend shows up in the crowd again and tries to stick his nose in my business, I told Shane and I told the rest of management at NYWC, if this happens a third time, whatever happens to those two guys and Jorge is on you if you let them in the building, not on me. Because that is the second demand I laid down. They agreed to it. No problems. So that's what's going to happen Saturday. I'm going to knock the taste of cock out of his mouth one more time. Jorge, that is. Not that there's anything wrong with putting cock in your mouth. No offense, guys. It's 2024. Don't be so close-minded.
Well, I mean, you basically just explained. Actually, I had like 3 other questions on top of that, but you just answered all of it right away. So thank you for that. As always,
you're welcome.
Because you are the true professional, and like I said, I've known you for a long time. What kind of out of that whole story? You said that you've known John Shane for a long time. He could have easily told you a long time ago, like, hey, I have a nephew who's interested in wrestling. He could have given you the heads up a long time ago.
No. See, he's not interested in wrestling. See, he was going there to show support for his friend.
Oh.
It's not like it's not like his nephew's trying to get in the business. He was just going to show support as a fan. His best friend support his best friend. And all of a sudden, the kid loses his cool because I beat his best friend, and it escalated very quickly. You don't throw water. Again, I didn't know it was water till after the fact. You know what I mean? You touch the wet, you smell it, make sure it's not piss or anything. I mean, the guy could have jizzed in a bottle and fucking threw it on me. You kidding me? You don't know. You don't know what the fuck it is. What if it was sulfuric acid? And he was crazy and he wasn't his best friend. It was just some loony wrestling fan who got lost in the fucking moment. It was disbelief kicked in and threw acid on somebody. Not that I'm recommending that, but I'm saying we've heard the stories from back in the day. Wrestlers going Puerto Rico, going here, going there, down south, Memphis Heat, this, that, the other. Who knows what to expect nowadays? You know what I mean? You get kids shot up in school. Who's not to say some wrestling fan's going to fucking act crazy at a wrestling show and bring harm to one of the wrestlers? God forbid it ever happens. But point I'm trying to make is I was defending myself and it escalated and it was a shoot both times. But now NYWC, like I said, they saw the greener pastures with all this viral stuff that went with the videos. They said, let's make some money off of it. So now it becomes professional wrestling, but not really because Jorge steps in that ring. There's no leg slapping, as you know, never has been with me. But this time for real, he steps in the ring. It's going to be a fight.
And another thing to add on, I actually have seen that video of tons of fun yelling at you. I was laughing hysterically because, she thought she had a dog in that fight, but knowing that it's you, yeah, she was going to lose no matter what.
Listen, the only dog she had was the 5 hot dogs she had before she sat down. So whatever.
And actually, I'm going to throw up the graphic of the match. It's right there, guys.
Bro, look at him. Look at Jorge, right? La Bestia. He goes around saying big man shit. We're practically the same size. He may be a couple inches taller than me. I'm not the tallest guy in the world, but I'm much more muscular than he is. I'm a better wrestler than he is. I'm definitely a better fucking real fighter than he is. But most importantly, it looks like you ordered a fucking terrorist on Wish. Look what the fuck he looked like with that stupid ass beard. Come on, man. Please. Anyhow, I digress. I had nothing but respect for this kid because the kid has a big heart. And he's going to be a superstar one day if he keeps his head down clean, straight, his nose clean, and just shuts up and listens. But now he stepped out of his comfort zone because I touched his little friend. And I know that sounds a lot dirtier than I meant it. That's not what I meant. But point being is I smacked around his best friend. And I believe his name is Larry, if that's what Jorge referred him to on the podcast with Papa Denk, who's going to pay me royalty for using the word Papa, but that's another story. And point is that you don't step out of your comfort zone. You don't disrespect the locker room and the brotherhood and the camaraderie that we have as performers, as wrestlers, as athletes, as fighters. You don't do that. I don't care if Jesus Christ or fucking Helen Keller was in the front row and they attacked me. You fucking sit there and you fucking rectify the situation. You see back in the days, people trying to run in the ring, WWF, WCW. There's a famous clip where Triple H and Steve Austin were wrestling in the middle of the match. And Zakranka goes after Steve Austin, and Triple H, who's just wrestling Steve Austin in the match, attacks the guy who's trying to attack Steve Austin because that's the way it should be done. Well, Jorge broke that rule. He shows me what type of piece of shit person he really is. So now I got a problem with him because I lost money. But I don't make it out on the back end because I charge it a tremendous amount of money to fucking get paid this Saturday to punch him in the fucking face. So I'm happy.
Well, they better pay you since you have been a staple of NYWC possibly since its inception, I think.
Yeah, I was on the first show.
And granted, this probably be way out of character. Just thought I'd ask, how does it feel knowing that Psycho Circus, the biggest quintessential event in NYWC history, is going to be turning 21?
Bro, I've been doing this 24 plus years. And in July 17th of this year, 2024, is my 25th year anniversary in this business. 25 years. Yeah. I started in 1999, July 17, 1999. After 1 month of training under Homicide at the Doghouse, I had my first professional bout. 25 years later, here I am. So I've wrestled everybody on TV at AEW's roster, a lot of people in WWE and all these legends, the entire ECW locker room. This just turning 21 is just another situation in my career. I've been in 2 Psycho Circus matches. I was just telling Papa Denk, one of them I got punched by Terry Funk. He was a special ring enforcer. So God rest his soul, may he rest in peace with one of the goats. But point being is, it's just another day in the office for me, man. And even though I've been in this business nearly 25 years, nobody, and from the bottom of my black heart, and I mean this, this, Ryan, you know this, you know me, nobody can outwork me. Nobody can out-talk me. I do it in 2 languages, English and Greek. And nobody can make that emotional connection with the fans like I do. I am like Lazarus. You know what I'm saying? Like Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. Let me refrain. Like Jesus Christ in the Bible, raising Lazarus from the dead. Every time I come out, the fans get on their feet and I raise them from the dead after seeing 17,000 super kicks and 15,000 leg slaps and this, that, and the other, and all these different moves that don't mean shit because no one made a connection with the fans. I come out on the show and I make that connection. I give them their moment. And guess what? They leave the show. Who do they remember? Me, GGP. And I've been doing this fucking 25 years. So to me, it's just another day in the office. If I get a call tomorrow, hey, wrestle Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania, number 1, I'll be fucking ecstatic. But number 2, I wouldn't even be nervous because I know what I can do. And what I do well. So boom, put me in the game, coach. I'm ready to go. I'm TV ready. Always have been, always will be. So Saturday, just because it turns 21 years, congratulations to them. Kudos. That's a milestone for an independent company to last 21 years. Okay. And a lot of these fucking places go last a couple of months and they close because that's the way they do it. But they don't. They're a legit company. And it's been a privilege to be part of their roster, even though last few shows, our relationship has been very rocky, especially with me and management. We've had some words and I haven't held back, and I'm not going to hold back. And I've dropped names in my promo of people I shouldn't have, but I just did. I even mentioned it here. I said Shane O'Neill. Yeah, I know. So tough shit. What are you going to do? Fire me? Please. Anyhow.
And one last thing before John has a question, talking about Psycho Circus. My first glimpse of watching you in a Psycho Circus event, it wasn't even a Psycho Circus match. It was the Master of the Mat. It was you, Josh Daniels, Bruno Marciano, and Quiet Storm. Quintessentially one of my favorite matches.
I won that one.
Well, the gentleman that's on the screen right now, the handsome Greek god himself, Papadon.
No, I said I won. I know. I said.
Oh, I think that's who won. I'm sorry.
No. I said sorry. I won that one. Listen, I've been in a. I won two.
Apologies, sir.
Listen,
my apologies.
In NYWC, I've done everything. I've been heavyweight champion. I've been fusion champion. I've been tag team champion. I've been 2 times Master of the Mat winner. The only thing I haven't held is the Starlet Championship, obviously, because I'm not a chick. And number 2 is the 6-man tag team titles, which we should have won, but we got robbed. So whatever, it is what it is. Maybe future Hall of Famer, maybe not. Doesn't matter to me. All the thing that matters is I put asses in seats. GGP continues to be a draw. GGP continues to outwork everybody, both verbally and physically, and makes the emotional connections with the fans and gives them their money's worth. And that's exactly what I will do and continue to the day that I'm in the ground 6 feet under. And they know that. And everyone who comes to NYWC show knows that. Anyone who goes to any show I'm on knows that. So, again, kudos to them. 21 years. That's a milestone. That's fucking awesome. The match itself is going to be insane. A lot of talent in that match. A lot of talent. You have the slime balls with my Padawan, Joey Conway.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Big O, who's the strongest guy, probably one of the strongest guys I've ever been with in wrestling in a ring. And he's teaming with Kaysen and Mikey Whipwreck. And I'm sorry, Mikey, I'm going to let the cat out the bag. You say you're old and you're broken down, but even on your worst day, you're better than 99.9% of the people in this business today. And I love you, and you're one of my mentors. You're one of my trainers, and I'll tell you this to the day you die. So there you go. And then on the other team, you have Postgame, which is a great tag team that's up and coming. And you have Sal Savelli, who looks like a used car salesman with that greasy ass hair and that ugly ass face, but he does have talent. I'll give him that, even though he's a cocksucker. But anyhow, so that match is going to be it's insane, just insane from top to bottom. It's a stacked card, and it's going to be an amazing night. If you come to watch me wrestle, I'm going to disappoint you because it's going to be a fucking fight. There's not going to be any freaking headlocks in my matches or collar and elbow tie-ups. I'm telling you right now. So come see a brawl. But everything else, it's going to be wrestling. It'll be great. And weapons and blood and psycho craziness. So,
John, that's your cue to go in.
No, unlike some other fans, I know once I go to a show, once I sit, I don't go to the other side of the barricade.
Oh, yeah, you're smart. So
I learned that lesson really quick.
You're smarter than Ryan looks, so we're good.
Thanks.
Come on, bro. You know I gotta bust your balls.
I know.
But
You've been busting my balls for almost 15 years, dude. I'm used to it.
But Pop, I want to move now from Psycho Circus and talk about what's happening in April, WrestleMania weekend. You're gonna be part of Rex Fest.
Yes, I am.
Now, how did that whole thing come to fruition about you being on for Rex Fest?
I got a message saying, "Hey, are you booked?" I said, "When?" And they gave me the date. And I looked and I said, "It's a Thursday. You sure it's the right day?" Not realizing it's WrestleMania weekend. And I went, "Sure, I'll do it." And I got booked. They know talent when they see it. It's going to be an amazing day because earlier on in the day, they're having Dragon Gate versus Ludus. So we get to see the Dragon Gate talent fight the Ludus talent. And who knows? If there's an opening during the day, maybe Papa Don will jump in and fight some Dragon Gate talent, which I would love. Because I used to be part of Dragon Gate USA back in the day. So, and then at nighttime, they haven't mentioned my opponent yet, but I am issuing an open challenge. So I'm laying down the gauntlet. Open challenge to anybody WrestleMania weekend. I don't care if you're an independent wrestler. I don't care if you're a Japanese wrestler. I don't care if you're a luchador from Mexico. I don't care if you're a signed wrestler from television, WWE, TNA, AEW, ROH. Bring your ass to fucking wrestle to Rexplex and watch me destroy it and see what I do, because I do it best. And like Wolverine used to say in the comics, I'm the best at what I do, bub. And that's can't be further from the truth when it comes to GGP.
And there's the graphic right there.
That's a handsome man. Very sexy Greek guy right there.
Looking like $1 million.
Keep it in your pants, John.
Yeah.
Boy.
And I'm an entertaining guest. Unlike Jorge, who was on Papa Danks last night, he was watching fucking Paint Dry.
It's gonna get even better because tomorrow night I'm sitting down with Joey Conway, so the jokes are gonna keep coming.
Tell Conway I say hello.
Oh, I definitely will. We do got a comment coming in here from our Facebook page. Papa Don, it's actually Billy Ann Wolf who chimes in going, "Hey guys, all hail GGP."
Smart. Very smart. Thanks, Billy Ann.
But being that with what's happening with RexFest, being in Philly, how does it feel for you? I know you've been doing this as you mentioned, for 25 years, wrestling in Philly, WrestleMania weekend, when basically all wrestling is going to be, all eyes are going to be on that town.
Well, it's not my first WrestleMania weekend I've done. I've done a couple in the past. So again, it's just another day in the office for me. Me wrestling matches is like changing socks. My kid asked me a couple months ago, "Hey Dad, how many matches have you had?" I wish I kept track. I didn't, right? I've wrestled multiple countries. I've wrestled all over the US. If conservatively, it's once a week, let's just say. Once a week, let's just say. And that's not even counting ring time training during the week. For just once a week. And I'm always on the road, right? Once a week, 52 weeks a year. Let's do the math here, guys. And the Greeks invented math. So if we take 52 matches a year and we times that, and we'll use 24 because 25 hasn't closed out yet. It's 1,248 matches.
Oof.
So to me, stepping between those ropes, it's like going to work every day. I'm ready, TV ready. I am mentally prepared. Nothing can throw me off my game because I know what to do, when to do, how to do it, and why to do it. Meanwhile, everyone else is flopping and flipping around, smacking their legs, not making any sense of what they're doing in that squared circle. So to me, it's an honor to still do what I do because I'm out working everybody. All the kids who are 20, 30 years old, 5 minutes in the ring, they're gassed, huffing and puffing. I don't get blown up. I can go 60 minutes. I can go 90 minutes. No problem. Done it plenty of times. 5 minutes alone, playing with my kids, Legos or whatever, I'm blown up. That's another story for another time. But wrestling-wise, I'm a fucking machine. So I can go. No problem. Boom, 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 boom. So people who are going to come to the Rex Fest, they're going to get their money's worth. And they might boo me out the building, which 10 out of 10 times it happens, which is fine. And I don't mind because I'm giving them the other side of the coin. And they're going to remember me, and they're going to have a good time. They're going to get this money's worth, and they're going to leave. And before they leave, they're going to go, "You're awesome, man. You're a good heel." Buy a shirt. No, fuck off then. Point being is that's always happens. People go home, they remember GGP. They don't remember fucking John Smith in the second match who did 300 flippity doodads and kicked out at 1 on the Canadian Destroyer in the opening 3 seconds of the match. They'll remember me because I made that connection. And I gave them a moment that will live in their memory for years. There have been plenty of people who go up to me. "I used to watch you when I was a kid." Cool. What am I going to get mad at that? That's cool. They still remember me all these years later. So I did something right. So I can't get mad at that. Dude, I'm 46 years old. Do I look 46? No. At 46 years old, am I an old beat up man? Fuck no. I'm a smart wrestler. I work hard. I work smart. I don't work hard. You know what I mean? Because working smart will outwork hard any day of the week. So at 46 years old, I'm able to run circles around all these 20 and 30-year-olds. Please. I haven't even peaked yet, in my opinion. Others will say otherwise, but whatever. Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Well, now let me ask you this. You were saying before how, even at the age you're at now, you can still outwork kids. And I say kids, but you know what I'm trying to say. What do you attest that to? Is it your work ethic, your gym routine?
It's two things. One, it's my work ethic, which I learned from my father. Okay? May he rest in peace. Two, it's my passion. As much as I fucking hate wrestling, I love it. And the only reason why, and you can ask Conway this. You can ask him this tomorrow, he will pop. Tell him Papadon says, I hate wrestling. And he will pop. Because every time at least once a day, I'll text him, I hate wrestling. And he'll pop back. He'll hit me back with a comment. I wouldn't be doing this, you know what I'm saying, at my age right now for almost 25 years if I wasn't good at it and I didn't enjoy it. Because let's face it, people will look at me and be like, oh, he's 46. Why should we give him a shot? Because I've never been injured. I don't have concussions. Slight injuries, nothing major. I can still go. I don't look my age. I'm very marketable. I'm very handsome. Ryan tells me that all the time. I'm in his wettest dreams. But point is that, there's money to be made here because there's no Greek wrestlers on TV. Okay? Greeks invented wrestling. It writes itself, especially like in Fred's like the NWA that still does talk about history and tradition. It's an open book. It goes straight to the top. Boom. But whatever. I'm not vying for jobs on your podcast. All I'm saying is that I offer something different. And I can wrestle every style in the sun. Because I've done wrestle guys who don't speak English. I've done wrestle the Lucha Libre style. I know how to wrestle Lucha Libre. I know how to wrestle the quote-unquote world of sport, scientific, Johnny Saint, Billy Robinson, catch or catch can style, traditional American style. This Saturday, they're going to see the brawling side of Papa Don as I'm punching Bestia in the jaw. So I can wrestle the Purorazu strong style, Japanese style, which is very famous at the Doghouse. I can do it all. So, it is what it is. And that's why I could still outwork everybody because I can. You know what I mean?
Well, now this leads now to my next question. You were saying before how you can work different style types of matches. In your almost 25 years of being an in-ring competitor, is there one style of match that you prefer over others?
Yeah. Reality. Vanilla chocolate strawberry is the many different flavors of wrestling. You know what GGP's flavor is? Reality. People may not believe wrestling's real, but when they see me, they believe I'm real. And I steal that from Johnny Valentine, which people out there might not know is Greg the Hammer Valentine's father, who was an amazing competitor. Unfortunately, he passed away, in the plane crash with Flair. But no joke, you're going to see me wrestle. Everything I do, from walking to the ring, from making fun of Ryan, to getting into the ring, to cutting him off to get heat, to doing what I do in the matches, makes sense. There's logic behind every mannerism I show the crowd. There's logic in every step and everything I do in the ring. There's substance, there's volume, there's reason. I don't do things just to do things. Case in point, you'll see in my matches, and you won't see these in other matches. I have a headlock on in the beginning of the match, and I show it off all four sides of the ring, which no one does. Maybe Mike Mondo does. Right? This headlock is a shoot hold. It hurts. Why is it hurts in the middle of the ring? You can't break it. But as soon as you back me up to the back to the ropes, automatically you can shoot me off and I can let go of the headlock. Why is that? What's difference? What's difference between it in the middle of the ring and me on the ropes? What's the difference? I still got the same hold. Why would it hurt less against the ropes? Because I'm leaning? No. Because phony baloney bullshit bad habit wrestling. What happens in my matches is I put a headlock on. As soon as I get hit in the stomach from a punch or a strike, I loosen the grip of a headlock. Now there's reason to throw me off because the grip is loosened. Because in a real fight, you get someone in a headlock, someone punches you in the kidney. Oh, you got to sell that because it hurts. You let go of the headlock or you loosen the headlock. Now the guy can get out. So there's a rhyme and reason for everything that I do. So there's action and reaction. So everything I do in the ring, that's exactly what I showcase to everybody. Every movement, everything. You won't see me throw blow for blow with a guy punching me in the face and I'm throwing a chop. You punch me in the face, I'm punching you in the face back. You kick me in the head, I'm kicking you in the head back. If you sell my if I kick you in the head and you know sell it, but I chop you and you sell that, the fuck you doing? You're working backwards. A chop is this much. You ever get kicked in the head for real? It really hurts. And I've been kicked in the head plenty of times for real. And it hurts. So why would you not sell that, but sell the other thing? Because it makes a sound? So you let the crowd dictate the outcome of your match? No, sunshine. I'm the puppet master. I dictate the crowd. I get them at a certain level in the match where I want them to be, and I get them emotionally there. And that's going to lead us to another part in the match where they're going to be emotionally here. And then another part in the match. And it'll be the highest point in the match, and we'll go home. And that's how you learn how to work. You feed off the crowd. You don't go in the back and go, I'm going to duck 37 things, and I'm going to hit you with an enziguri, and then you're going to hit me with a Canadian Destroyer, and I'm going to go up and go, and I'm going to chop you. That's when you fall down and sell. No. That makes no fucking sense. So what I offer is reality. Hopefully that answered your question. I know I go into tirades. I apologize.
Oh, no. That, Papadon, that's one thing that, and Ryan can attest to, that's one thing that I stress coming from a fan perspective on this podcast every week is storytelling. Is if I'm going to a show and I'm watching these two guys in the ring, why should I as a fan be emotionally invested in what they're doing if there's no story behind it? Or if all of a sudden, like you were saying before with the headlock, okay, well, we get to the headlock, we get to this move. Okay, well, what's the connection between the two?
See, you get it. Why do people who are quote unquote in the business in the ring still don't get it? They'll go to a million seminars, whether trying to get a job in a company or just trying to better themselves, and hear the same thing over and over and over again. But it doesn't get through. Why? Because they see bad habits on TV. Just because it's on TV, it's not right. And it's the truth.
And that's why, to me, like, I have a huge issue, and I'm not trying to shoot on AEW here, but that's one of my big issues with AEW is a lot of their stuff. It's okay, we're going to take person A, put it with person B, but we're not going to tell a story and just let them go in the ring. And I'm like, but then as a fan, why am I invested in it?
Listen, again, I'm not going to shit on AEW. I've wrestled for them, had great matches for them. I got nothing but great reviews for my matches from them. Unfortunately, I don't have a contract with them. I have a lot of friends who are under contract with them, and I would like to be under contract with them. But point I'm trying to make is this. Again, wrestling is different flavors. You're attesting to something that's reality. Some people like the video game style of wrestling, where it's just bing, 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 because they can't set their attention to something for too long. Maybe it's because of this technology. Maybe it's because they have ADHD or they have OCD or ODD, or they're very impulsive and they can't just sit down and watch a Flair Steamboat 89 confrontation without being on their phone the whole time. I don't know. Everyone's different. But point is that because you feel that way doesn't make you wrong. But what does make you right is what you said. You let two guys go and they just go in there and throw everything in the kitchen sink in there. If there's no meaning behind what they're doing, it's like watching a tennis ball going back and forth in a tennis match. Sooner or later, you're going to get tired of watching it bing, 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 back and forth. You need to watch something to either cheer or jeer for that person, or being emotionally attached to what you're watching. You're not going to watch a movie if you don't care about the movie. You know what I mean? So the same thing with wrestling. You got to get them emotionally attached. That's our job. They want to vicariously live through the baby faces. They want to hit because they can't beat up the heel because they're not in the ring or they're not tough enough. And the heel has to pull away what they want to see. And that's the babyface kick the heel's ass. And you don't do it by being cool and flashy and playing to the fans, because a real heel doesn't care what the fans want. A real heel will pull the rug from underneath, from the babyface, take it away, pay it off later in the match, and the pop will be astronomical. Whether it's a finish or a false finish or whatever the case may be, that all depends on the people in the ring. That's another thing. Just a side note here. False finishes. If you're going to do a false finish, please use a move that you finish the match on. Don't just hit a false finish because it's a cool looking move that you never won a match on. Because sooner or later, they're going to see it 3, 4, 5, 10 times. They're going to be like, he always does that match. He always gets a 2 count. He's never going to win. I'll tell you one thing. Pile driver, brainbuster, hit Randy Orton hanging DDT, Shining Wizard, which I call the Alpha Omega. Those are all moves that I hit and win matches with, but I'll also hit them as false finishes to make sure that the people are sitting at the edge of their seat because they think I'm going to win on that match because they've seen it before in the past, as opposed to just hitting a fancy move for the sake of hitting a fancy move because it's my turn to get a 2.5 count. Now your turn to get a 2.5 count. Now it's my turn to get a 2.5. That shit don't make no sense. You understand what I'm trying to say? And I know we're breaking kayfabe here a lot, but it is what it is.
No, I totally get what you're saying. Ryan, do you have any more questions?
No, it's basically like John said, especially coming from someone who literally, like you just said, almost 25 years, you're teaching the newer generation the proper wrestling etiquette, per se, of how to, be a better in-ring competitor. Not like what you see on TV, but especially with the storytelling and whatnot.
Yes, but the problem is this. When I broke into the business,
Mm-hmm.
I was told, shut your mouth, keep your ears open. Less is more. You don't understand that now, but one day the light will go off in your head and you're going to go, oh, that's what he meant. And that's true. That's going to happen with everything. Wrestling is an on-the-job experience. The more ring time you have under your belt, the more you'll get to that moment when the switch happens and you go, oh, that's what they meant. Okay? You just don't get it like that with no experience. So, less is more. Keep your mouth shut. Veteran tells you something. You say thank you. You ask a veteran to watch your match or anybody else to watch your match. When you come back, they tell you the criticism. Don't try to rebuttal them. Well, what I did over there was cool, right? Because then you're just asking them to stroke your dick and stroke your ego. And that's not what they want to hear. You're asking someone to take time out of their day to try to help you get better. Not to stroke your ego and tell you, yeah, kid, that drop kick at the 2 minute and 37 mark was really spectacular. 5 stars. Yay. No. So unfortunately, nowadays, that's all these kids care about. They care about their likes. They care about their views. They care about their star ratings on their match and slapping their legs and having the crowd go, this is awesome, or ooh, ah, ooh, ah, as opposed to getting themselves over as a persona. They'll wrestle somebody. I heard you saying it before, and Kip is someone I hold near and dear in my heart. Because when he started out in NYWC, we had a fucking feud, and I got him over as a top babyface, and we had a Compton street fight that was one of the greatest matches in my career, and the kid bled all over the place, and he earned my respect as a tough competitor that day, and I love Kip. So, but you said he wrestled what's his name for the title at Cap, and they hugged afterwards. No one wants to see that, even in respect or not. The worst is when they have this big match and then they go on social media. Oh, I want to thank him for the opportunity and thank him for the match and blah, 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 blah. Or they go on social media and the mystique of their persona on TV gets null and void when they start posting stupid shit. You have a big, massive giant. He goes on social media dressed as a ballerina or in a thong, doing stupid keg stands on his head or something like that. Then people go, oh, he's just like everybody else. Why should I pay money to go see him if he's just like everybody else, if he's not larger than life? We ever see The Undertaker go on social media? No, he kept his mysticism. He kept his mystique. We ever see Terry Funk thank his opponent after a match? After fucking pile driving Ric Flair on the table. Oh, I want to thank that banana nose Ric Flair for letting me wrestle him and blah, 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 blah. No. If you're going to commit. Being a professional wrestler is a lifestyle. It's not just a 9-to-5 job that you turn on and turn off. If you're going to be it, be it. You're going to go there, you walk through the curtain, people see you, you're a heel, then you're a heel. The only thing as a heel, you could sign autographs to kids because they're kids. I don't want to ruin the experience for them, even though you shouldn't. And you shouldn't sell merch, but we got to make money too. Gas and tolls are expensive. But point being is, you're a heel. Why do you think MJF got over so much? Because he stayed true to that nucleus, to that foundation that he built as being a heel. Okay? And I know Max. He's a great guy. Okay? But he's a great performer, wrestler, athlete, fighter, whatever you want to label him as. He's awesome. Why? Because he built the foundation that he built a brand off of, and that foundation was so sturdy because he kept to his core values, and everyone believed it. Boy, it got so entertaining, he organically turned face, just like The Rock did. Now The Rock is heel, allegedly. Just like I was in ECWA. I came in there and I was getting stuff thrown at me, booed out the building, but people were entertained by my antics and my verbal disputes I had with the baby faces that I eventually turned face. So it happens. But let's face it, that's when you get over, because people believe in you. They don't care about moves. Again, long-winded answer. I apologize. Sorry. Sorry.
No, all good. All good. My last thing, it really isn't a question, but I'm sure you said it before, but I'm probably going to reiterate to Mr. LaBestia if he's watching on Saturday. Good luck trying to beat down this gentleman down here, because he's going to give you the beating of a lifetime.
Oh, you're right. I can't argue with you on that, bro. I can't. I'm going to hurt him, and I'm going to hurt him very, very, very bad. And again, if his best friend shows up and tries to get into the action or loses his cool because I beat his friend again, one of the demands I made to NYWC is if him or his uncle, John Shane, my former friend, shows up and they start to get rowdy in the crowd and they try to do something stupid, what happens to them is not going to be on me. It's on them for letting him in the building for a third time. 3 strikes, you're out. So that's that. But yeah, he's going to get his butt kicked. I swear to God.
And Papa, now my last question for you is this. I know Immortal is one of the other companies you have worked for. Is there any possibility of you coming back up to Immortal at some point?
I would like to, but for some strange reason, I don't know why, and I've asked the promoter, Mike King, I said, do we have heat? No. Did I do something wrong? No. Well, I know I didn't do anything wrong, but I want the confirmation. He stopped using me. He stopped using Conway. So, you know what? I don't know. If he wants to use me, all he has to do is reach out and say, hey, I need you for these dates. Are you open? If I'm available, my fee's going up. I'm not wrestling for the same anymore, Mike. So you complain about what I was charging you before. I'm going to charge you more now because it is what it is. I've lost too many dates because of your not wanting to pay me what you thought it was too much money because everybody else was making 10 times less. They didn't have to drive from Long Island 4 hours all the way up to Rome, New York, or wherever else you had a show, paying gas and tolls. So it is what it is. And they can't do what I do. I know my value. That wasn't a tagline in the promo I said. I know my value. Okay? And I undersell myself a lot because no one's going to really pay what I think I'm worth. I'm the independents. Not unless I go to TV first and make my name for myself on TV and then come back to the independents. Then they'll all be marks and throw me all the money like they do to everybody else. The point is that you want to bring me in? Bring me in. I had that championship for the longest amount of time. I gave them the best matches, championship matches. Most importantly, and don't laugh, you two, because I know you guys are gonna laugh. I did a model gig where it was for Cashmere Sweater Company, and they had this big tough guy who can even wear cashmere type of, and I put the Immortal Championship belt in the model shoot. I got paid very handsomely to be a model for a day. Zoolander couldn't even fucking hold my bootstraps that day. Well, point being is, I said don't laugh, but you laughed. Thank you. So point being is,
mention Zoolander. I'm sorry.
But point is, their championship got national recognition on billboards across the United States. And I didn't even charge them extra for that. And I said, you're welcome, Mike. Thank you for giving me that one vote of confidence for making me your champion. Now everybody knows about the Immortal Championship Wrestling belt and the Immortal Championship Wrestling all over the country because I'm on all these billboards all over the U.S. And what happened? He still complained. So whatever. Look, I don't care. I'm at the point I don't give a fuck anymore, dude. I really don't. Either you want quality talent or you want $20 wrestlers who slap their legs and they're going to do stupid moves and it doesn't make any sense and the fans are not going to come back. Or you can get guys that draw, like myself. And I know what I can do. I know what I'm worth. And I'm going to offer, and I'm going to tell you that. And if you think it's too much, then go pay money for some guy from TV that's going to half-ass it, or some guy that used to be on TV and half-ass it because he doesn't want to work with some guy who doesn't know how to work and not make anything because he won't do the job. He won't build your guy. And then when he leaves, you'll be stuck in the same place, not Mike in general, but any promoter who won't build a person off of the name guy because he won't do the job and build the guy. So this way the houses can stay up. So, I mean, let's face it. It takes two to tango. So there's many, many dilemmas. This is why I hate wrestling. But anyway.
But again, Papa Don, I appreciate you coming on with us tonight. Before we let you go, where can the fans, what do you have coming up? I know we talked about Rex Fest and Psycho Circus, but for anybody who's just joined, if you want to reiterate that again, and anything else you have coming up, and also connect with you on social media.
Sure. Let's see. We have Psycho Circus Saturday, like we've mentioned a million times, or the
Just showing up
ass kicking. It's okay. Ass kicking of Jorge La Bestia. Then I have on the 9th Virginia Championship Wrestling in Virginia. I was in Delaware on the 2nd, but something happened and I can't make that day anymore for 1CW. But I will be there in April and May. I will be in VCW in April 20th and May 9th, I think it is. Or May 4th. I got to double check my my schedule, but I'll be there in April and May. April, I'll be in Philadelphia for Rex Fest. I'll also be at NYWC. I think I'm also, if it's still happening, on a show in Jersey. I'm not mentioning anything yet because I don't think it was advertised, so I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. But a good friend of mine,
I think I know which one you're referring to because I think it's the same one I was spoken with earlier today about it too.
Oh yeah, we'll talk off air then. I'll be on that. And we'll see what else transpires. Hopefully, there were talks. I'll go back to Canada to wrestle for a couple of companies there that I recently just wrestled for recently. Hopefully that happens. We'll see. I mean, I would always love to go back to Japan, or now, I'm sorry, go to Japan, wrestle over there. I'd like to wrestle overseas some more. Been to England, like to go back. We'll see. Or whatever comes my way, it happens. It happens. But I would like to, before I hang them up, and I'm not hanging up anytime soon, I'd like to go on TV and show everyone that on TV what I show everybody on independent level, that I'm the fucking greatest. So
I couldn't have said it better. The biggest thing I love.
Oh, hold on. Sorry. Two other things. One, Conspiracy Horseman podcast on Rumble. Okay? That's Conspiracy Horseman. It's myself, Stevie Richards, who should be in the WWE Hall of Fame this year in Philadelphia. Same thing with Tommy Dreamer and Mikey Whipwreck and Jerry Lynn. Should put all those guys in the Hall of Fame this year. And Lance Storm, just to name a few. And I'm not marking out. These are guys that are respected by their peers for what they bring to the table. But I digress. Even Paul Heyman should be in the Hall of Fame this year. But again, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Conspiracy Horseman. Myself. Big Sal Graziano, who's going to be with the FBI at Psycho Circus Saturday. Big Stevie Cool, Stevie Richards, SRF Fitness, and Bin Hamin. We're the Conspiracy Horsemen. 4 wrestlers that talk about conspiracies and talk about critical thinking and being open-minded and always questioning the narrative. Go to Rumble, check out prior episodes, check out our most recent episode that we did a few weeks ago about the aliens at the mall that showed up and all these people and the cops and the Black Hawk helicopter showing up for all that nonsense. It's very interesting, to say the least. I also have, and you can see behind me, I'm a big geek. I love comic books. I draw comic books. I love Star Wars, especially. I have a Star Wars podcast called The New Force Order. It's the NWO logo, but instead of a W, it's an F. Okay, because I'm a big NWO mark. So, New Force Order. I'm on all the podcast platforms. It's myself, Dr. Alex Arroyo, and Spiros Antonopoulos when he can come on. And because of his real life situation, he's been missing a lot of shows. We're recording tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's the premiere of season 3 of Bad Batch. Looking forward to that. But you can come on social media outlets. Akrika Papadon on X. Akrika Papadon Threads. Akrika Papadon on IG. Demetrius Papadon on Facebook. Greeka Papadon YouTube channel. Pro Wrestling Tees / Greeka Papadon is a Pro Wrestling Tees store. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
But again, Papadon, you know the door is always open for you to come back on here whenever you like. And I can't wait to see you at RexFest in April, WrestleMania weekend.
You're not coming to NYWC Saturday?
Unfortunately, me and Ryan both have another show.
What show?
It's for a new promotion called Upstate UWE, Upstate Wrestling.
Oh, yeah, with Ben. Ben's going to be there, right?
I believe so.
All right, well, give him a hug and tell him I say, Yalla. Hey, John, get a $5 face smack.
No, it's $10 now.
Oh, that's right, Bidenomics. $10 inflation, $5 face slap. Trust me, you'll enjoy it.
You're not the first person who has suggested that.
Well, listen, there's another guy who should be on TV. Not only in front of the camera, but behind the scenes, writing. The guys, there's been a certain few people, and I'm not just saying this because he's a friend of mine, but there's a certain few people who I've met in this 25-year journey I've had so far that have a tremendous wrestling mind. Okay, Steve Mack, one of them. Bin Hamin, one of them. Just to name a few. Okay, I'm not going to go through the whole list because we'll be here forever. But because I'm going to try to remember. Danny Inferno, another guy, genius wrestling mind. Judas, another great wrestling mind. Okay, so point being is Crowbar, another great wrestling mind. Homicide, Mikey Whipwreck, two of my mentors, my trainers, the only guys who's trained me. Amazing wrestling mind. Okay, so case in point, you guys are gonna have a good time at UWE this Saturday because I think it's gonna be good things over there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of fun, but we will definitely see you though at RexFest in April.
Oh, cool.
Yep, we'll definitely see you.
Thank you for having me on. If you guys see another video go viral because I'm smacking some fan because he gets out of hand, it is what it is. You guys see me beat the hell out of Bestia and put him in his place. Maybe at the end of the night, I'll have him hold my pocket. It is what it is. That's a jail reference. I know you guys don't know what that means. Not yet, anyway. So,
in due time, we'll probably figure it out. But anyway, sir, as always, it's a pleasure to see you. And
you as well.
It's a privilege to see you.
Oh, guys, stop it. You better, those checks better not bounce this time.
But no, like I said in the intro, I've known you for literally almost 15 years, both in the ring and outside of the ring. You have always been one of my favorite people on the independent wrestling scene. And I've said this for the longest time. How in the blue hell are you not signed anywhere? Because you have a fantastic wrestling mind that would be great for worldwide exposure. And I truly do mean that.
I don't know, man. I wish I had the answer to that question because if I did, then if I did do something wrong, I'd be able to correct it. If I haven't done anything wrong, it just hasn't been my time yet. The only thing I'm going to say is this, and I tell this to everybody else who asks me, why are you still doing it? If I walk away from the table, I'll never get the winning hand. So as long as I can have a seat at the table, I'll get the winning hand. Maybe one day I'll be at the head of the table. Ha ha. No, but point is you got to sit at the table in order to get the winning hand. So I'm not getting up from the table anytime soon. So when that winning hand comes my way, I'll make it count.
Hey, you got another 30 plus years ahead of you. But anyway, folks, you can catch the Greek guy popping on this Saturday as he pretty much beats the ever-loving shit out of Jorge La Bestia.
Do you know why you can't play Uno with Jorge La Bestia?
Why?
Because he keeps trying to steal all the green cards. Ayo!
And also you heard his upcoming schedule at Virginia Championship Wrestling, Rex Fest. Give him a follow.
1CW, yep.
But give him a follow. Buy his merch. Check out his conspiracy podcast.
And the Star Wars one. Yes.
All in all, just go give Papa Don a follow.
Just give me all your money. Give me all the money. All of it. Guys, thank you very much. It's always a good time hanging out with you guys.
Thank you, sir.
All right, man. I'll talk to y'all. Be good, all right?
You as well.
Papa, take care.
All right, stroke it easy. Take it deep. Got him.
Hold on. I would before we. What I always love. I've said this. I wish I would have thought about this when he was on. I feel like talking to Papa Don is the closest we'll ever get to having Bully Ray on the show.
Oh hell yeah!
But what is your reaction to what he was saying?
With what though? We talked about a lot.
Well, obviously we knew we were going to get into the whole Psycho Circus thing and Rexfest, but as far as what I was saying,
No, you hit the nail on the head.
we got some comments coming in here. Ow. One of the guys I work with, Jeremiah, checks us out. Johnny.
I'm sorry you had to work with him, Jeremiah. I'm sorry for him in advance.
My sister chimes in here.
Speaking of apologizing in advance, I'm sorry for John Jen.
But what do you think though, as far as what he was saying?
Oh, he was absolutely spot on. And like I said, not to kiss ass, but like I said, I've known him for a long time. You know, he was one of the first people that I actually got to meet outside of, you know, when I was a fan, a fatter fan. Back then when I was tons of fun. Which, by the way, again, that video had me popping.
I gotta find that video.
Oh, I'll gladly send it to you. But no, he was absolutely spot on, and Lily felt like we were sitting in a seminar.
But the one thing I like though is that what he was saying though about connecting the dots. I've been saying on this show for the last, I feel like since we started this show 2 years ago.
Yeah, but he's better. I'm just saying.
Obviously, I'm coming, but the thing is, he's coming at it from somebody who's been in the industry for 25 years. I'm coming at it from a fan's perspective.
But, anyway, folks, like I said, go follow the Greek God Papa Don. Absolutely, as you know, you always hear in his moniker, the greatest unsigned talent in wrestling today. That is not just a little snippet. That is just a fact.
Well, actually, this is a good tease now.
Actually, can I finish Creator Pro?
Go right ahead.
I got 2 more matches and then we're done. So earlier I was talking about, you know, Bryce Donovan, Evil Kid making up another tag match. Then we go into the Fatal 4-Way match, Fatal 4-Way number 1 contenders match, where it was Dante Drago was the best, the Silver Sniper TJ Crawford, Dirty Bronson, and yeah, I had to do that, or else I'm gonna bust. And the Dominican Destroyer Vargas. Holy shit! If you thought me explaining all the other matches, including the sweeper medallion medal match and the submission match, were top notch, John,
This one was good. I saw the video you posted.
that was just a snippet. The entire match itself was freaking spot on, phenomenal. I think in my opinion, one of Creator Pro's best matches I've ever seen, and that's saying a lot. Which in the end we saw. Oh yes, thanks, John. I don't think I got it the first time.
Well, because I want to try to see if that helps us at all. But go on.
Which in the end, and new number 1 contender who will be facing Aaron Rourke for the Creator Pro title, Dante Drago is the best. reason why it's called Dante Drago is the best is because he always yells Drago is the best. And then we get on to our main event of the evening, which is the second semifinal matchup in the Creative Pro Wrestling Women's Championship Tournament, as the Notorious Mimi took on your homie, the Nomi, Gabby Forza. Phenomenal matchup that these two had back and forth, where in the end we saw Gabby spear basically Mimi almost in half, by the way. Holy shit. Which got her the victory, and she goes on to the finals. Now, after that, here comes Utic, and here comes 2/3 of Los Toxicos coming out, teasing Gabby, going, ooh, like in a normal spiel and whatnot. And then out comes Nat Castle with the chain that she used to defeat LMK, and started beating her up. And then Utic and Sebastian grab a door from underneath. But as they're getting ready to put Gabby through the door, who comes out? But oh look, Gabby's fiance, kayfabe broken. Dirty Bulk Bronson coming out to save Gabby, as he beats the hell out of Utic and Sebastian, throws Sebastian over the top. Throws Utic over the top rope, and literally picks up Sebastian, puts him on his shoulders, and basically, as you saw in the video, John, bash him right through the door.
Yeah, he seemed kind of pissed off.
So now I don't think it was revealed yet, but by the time people start watching this, it will be revealed. Unfortunately, Ariella Nix caught wind of that in her power trance and whatnot. Apparently, it looks like, due to those actions, apparently both Gabby and Bronson are suspended from Creative Pro for their next event, which, by the way, segues into Creative Pro's next event, which will be taking place on Sunday, March the 24th. And attending that night, well, besides Sexy Ryan himself, he is a former tag team champion, former world champion, former television champion, and actually a former television and world champion at the same time. The War Machine, Rhino.
So I guess get ready to start preparing your gore.
Oh, I'll gladly tell Rhino to gore you.
Actually, I might actually be there for that show.
Wait. What?
I know. Breaking news.
Breaking news! You'll be at a show that's not upstate New York. Papa, thank you if you're watching. Oh my God!
Well, we'll beat upstate New York the day beforehand, but there's a possibility.
The fuck is on the 23rd?
The next set of tape-ins for UWE.
Oh crap! Thanks for telling me that too.
Hold on, Mr. Patterson.
What not so savage?
Huh?
What not so Greek savage?
Well, actually, we have an interview that dropped that I just did yesterday with Greek Savage and Spencer Slade.
Oh boy!
Oh, you were brought up in that, by the way.
Of course I was.
You want me to tell you now, or you rather wait?
What did the walking speaker
What
say?
happened was Spencer was talking about wanting to go up against Cardona.
Yes.
So I made the joke because you know in Cardona, or sort of know in Cardona. I said, "Oh, I can have my co-host make a phone call." So that led into Savage saying something about how he's playing with his action figures, and I jokingly turned around and said, "Are you talking about Ryan or Matt Cardona?"
You dick.
And Savage goes, "Yes."
But anyway, one thing I will say about Creative Pro, the fans were fucking ruthless.
But that's Long Island for you.
No, this was actually the worst.
How do you figure?
Where in wrestling do you hear fans say Jake has a mangina? Jake has a mangina.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Go back to the last Ace show.
That's Jersey.
It's still indie wrestling.
But I said Long Island indie wrestling.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Jersey. Jersey is Jersey, you know. And also a lot of shut the fuck up chants. Oh yeah, it felt like I was at a hardcore ECW crowd.
But
And also for those that don't follow my social media pages, I kind of teased a little something yesterday that based off of this weekend, due to fan demand from both nights, where I had a total combined amount of almost over 600 people chanting, "We want merch. We want merch." Yeah, Sexy Ryan is going to be getting some merch soon.
But again, as your co-host, I was hoping I can get a discount.
Yes, I'm going to charge you 40 instead of 20.
Oh, okay.
It's residuals for you undermining me. It's the undermining residual.
So I'll pay you 15 then.
No, you will pay me in Wawa.
Okay. But I want to get to the first of a few announcements we have. Hold on, I have to wipe my eye first because we were talking before. Obviously, we had Papa Don on before. And again, guys, if you missed that interview, definitely go back and watch it on our YouTube page. It's very insightful things. But Ryan, you mentioned a very interesting line in that interview. One of the greatest unsigned talent.
Yes.
You said that quite a bit. I put the post out earlier today on my Facebook page, but I figure I'll make the announcement here. To close out the month of February, the Around the Ropes podcast will be doing a sit-down interview. Probably will be recorded. It might not. I have to see time-wise how it will work out. But your current Recombination Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, the All-Father, Darius Carter, is coming back to this podcast for the first time since he lost the title the first time to Marina Shafir at Queen of the North last year. So that will be happening the end of this month.
So next week.
Yeah, next Thursday. I wanted to say the end of the month. I just said the end of the month because I want to make it seem big.
You can get away with saying that if it was like the beginning of the month, but since the end of the month is next week.
But it's still a big get for us because of the fact he very rarely does interviews.
Oh no, I agree. Just change your verbiage up a little bit.
He'll scold me for when he hops on.
Oh, Well, especially if I could send him a message saying, "Hey, that John called you a Steve Urkel wannabe, right?"
But I want to thank Anthony Cole for setting that up, and leads actually to announcement number 2. There will be a lot more talent coming on this podcast from Recombination Wrestling over the next couple of months.
Yeah.
Especially, we got Queen of the North coming up on April 20th from Ridgefield Park. And I have not gotten confirmation yet, but I know for a fact at least 2 of the competitors who are in the finals will probably be on this podcast at some point.
How apropos on 420?
There's a few shows happening on 420.
Yeah, I know. I'm doing one of them as well.
Yep. Folks, that's a day where you get high.
Really?
I was expecting. Okay, hold on. Right. Last week on the show, we were going over the Creator Pro show that just happened Sunday.
Yes.
And you explained what a submissions match is.
Well, here's the thing. Some people do not know about submissions match, but everybody knows how to get high.
Well, especially if you're in upstate New York, that's kind of
That's a rite of passage.
That's like going to Jersey and not going to Wawa.
Basically, you're not allowed to go anywhere past Albany until you hit up a joint. Or if you pull a John and stop at a Stewart's store and you grab an energy drink, and then crash 3 minutes later.
I didn't crash.
Not car wise, but body wise.
Well, I'm a big guy, so what do you expect? But guys, like I said before, Darius Carter will be coming on the show next Thursday, February 29th.
Jesus Christ, thank God Papa didn't hear that.
But let's keep things moving here because we do got some stuff not indie related to talk about. And that's what happened Friday night, SmackDown. And the part I want to talk about is the Rock's promo at the end. Well, I think it was the end.
Yeah, it was the end.
So let me ask you this now. What do you think of the promo as a whole?
So, first of all, kudos to the fans of Utah for selling out the arena, breaking an all-time attendance record. And yes, I also agree, the largest indoor attendance record for the most hicks in a building. Great job. That way, everyone and their 50 wives can be ecstatic. Except for that one fat guy, except for that fat jabroni who almost got the herpes slapped off his face. I'm sorry. There's actually footage out there on WWE's TikTok page where it's The Rock doing those lines in the promo, and on the bottom it's like a hidden It's like the hidden camera of Corey Graves and Wade Barrett's reactions to those lines.
But that's the funny thing is that's Rock. That was Rock 25 years ago.
Oh, it was great.
I actually used one of the Rock's lines at work today. And when I say the line, Ryan, please tell me you get the reference. I think I just spat out there for a second. Ryan, do you like pie?
Of course.
What kind of pie do you like?
Poontang pie.
I used that line at work today, and everybody looked at me. They're like, "What the hell is poontang pie?" I'm like,
"Oh my God!"
I'm like, I gotta get back to doing cow hooves.
Especially with the coworkers that you deal with, how could they not catch on to that?
No, they're a great group of guys. They are a great group of guys, but my only thing now is this. If you notice when at the end, when they're doing the pose of, they're putting the one up, Rock didn't put a one up. He sort of went like this.
Either they're teasing something or he's stupid and forgot that the thumb goes in.
Well, this is my question now. Was because I did read that supposedly the plan is still to do Rock and Roman. More than likely, probably at SummerSlam. Are we going to get Rock double turning at Mania?
Maybe turn Roman face?
I wouldn't want that if I'm Roman.
He'll be like a Stone Cold face.
Yeah, but here's my thing, though. We saw Roman, yes. I mean, Papa and I was talking about before. When you get a lot of these guys who they turn face organically. And yes, granted, Roman does turn face organically, or has been turning face organically, is probably the better way to put it. But as a heel, he's so much fucking better. I think turning him face now, to me, would be the stupidest thing. And I understand people are saying, "Oh, it's been 3 years with this whole bloodline story." I'm sorry, this is this is one of the best stories WWE has told in the last probably 10 years. And I use 10 years as the barometer because that's when we had Daniel Bryan with the authority angle.
Mm-hmm.
Which is scary to think that's 10 years ago already.
I know.
My point is this. You turn here, but now here's the interesting thing, though. You go with Rock being his whole heel, reliving the 03 run that he had when he was the Hollywood Rock. You're gonna really want to turn him babyface, though?
Who, Rock or Rowan?
Rock.
No.
Well, let me ask you this question now, and anybody who's watching can chime in on this as well. What would be the better ending? Because obviously we know night 2 is going to be Roman and Cody. Would the better ending be to have Cody win the title or have a reformation of the bloodline? And you'll see where I'm going with this after you answer the question.
Here's what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Cody wins the title, but it's because The Rock screwed over his cousin. Because remember when The Rock said that when on the first Raw of 2024, he wants to sit at the head of the table. So who's to say that this is all a ruse of him taking over and kicking out his cousin as head of the table?
Yes, but my thing is this, though. I feel like for this story to get better, you reform the bloodline. You reform the Usos, have everybody come back, and then you see the fall. Because there was a great comparison that I heard. The bloodline is like Star Wars. As far as, you have the different chapters. And I still think there's a lot more meat to the bone.
I thought of another theory.
Okay.
Because right now, Jay is over as fuck right now. Why would you want to turn him? Why would you want to bring him back to reform the bloodline? Why?
Simple. You can have, because let's say, for example, because I don't know if he's going to go back for the IC title again. But you can make the argument, or he can make the argument of, I was only able to win a title because of the bloodline. Let me bite my tongue and go back so that I know I can guarantee myself a title.
But then that also kind of defeats the purpose of, when he won the tag titles with Cody.
It didn't fit the story. This would fit the story.
So basically, you have Jimmy on a 8-month face run to have him go back to being a heel again. No, that doesn't.
No. I'm not saying you have him turn right away, but you have him make that slow turn back.
No, it's not going to happen. Honestly, I have another theory though.
Mm-hmm.
Because they kind of teased Jimmy and Jay for WrestleMania. They teased it last night. And you can hear me out on this. I'm sticking with my theory of, Rock turning heel, rebranding the bloodline, kicking out, Roman Reigns not as the head of the table anymore. And even Paul Heyman turning on Roman. Because, Paul Heyman is the dirtiest fucking manager out there.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say that come SummerSlam, we see a massive Samoan brawl?
How do you figure?
On one side, since you're mentioning reformation, the Usos reuniting with Roman Reigns as, faces. And on the other side, The Rock, Solo Sikoa, and if some by chance they pull it off, Jacob Fatu.
Well, you bring up Fatu. I'm just going to say this right now. He's taking the longest route he can to get to WWE.
But right now he's on the right path right now because he's under Booker T's wing.
Oh, I agree 100%. But I'm just saying, it's inevitable he's going to sign with WWE.
Who's to say? Who's to say by the summertime? And then I know,
Otherwise, it has to happen sooner.
and I know what you're saying. The plan could be Rock versus Roman. Who's to say that could be set up for WrestleMania next year, where they can build up the story, for this time. Maybe even at SummerSlam, that 6-man Samoan tech.
Well, I would even go a step further. I would call it a Samoan brawl. I would call it a Samoan Civil War.
There you go. 6-man Samoan Civil War. How about that theory, huh?
It's not a bad theory. I'll definitely tell you this much. I'm definitely intrigued to see where this whole bloodline thing goes I think we're 7 weeks away from Philly.
I think so.
Yeah, because I know my birthday is in 5 weeks. Yeah, my birthday's the week before Mania.
Okay.
So it's gonna, like I said, the next 6 weeks I think are gonna be very interesting to see how it all plays out. But guys, one last thing I want to get to before we wrap up the show for tonight. There's a PLE on Saturday.
Oh boy, is there ever.
Ryan, let me ask you this. Are you waking up at 5 a.m.?
Fuck off, no.
Well, we got to be up early anyways.
Not at fucking 5 a.m.
Yeah, you're right. But let's go over the call. Actually, let me pull up.
You know what? While you do that, let me explain to the people out there.
Oh, damn.
To be fair, I was never informed of when that was taking place.
Yes, you were.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
No, it was a different date. You told me.
Well, yes, it was originally supposed to be tonight, but I told you about this.
No, you didn't. You didn't tell me about the date change.
Thanks, Savage.
I was never told about the date change. Savage, why don't you get off your knees for John Blaine? Okay? Don't you have something to worry about? Oh, I'm on thin ice. Really, Savage? Really? You know who else is gonna be on thin ice? Your client, Spencer Slade, with whoever he faces this Friday at VXS, because that person's gonna give him the freaking beating of a lifetime. Because unfortunately, in the state of New York, he can't beat up bitches like you. So he's gonna take it out on your client.
Jesus Christ. Holy crap.
Did Papa Doug just come out of me?
I think so.
Oh, goddamn.
Hold on. Oh, okay. What you just reminded me of, there was a book that came out when we were younger called Metamorphosis, I think it is.
Yes. I remember
That's
that.
what I feel like right now is the real life version of Metamorphosis. You're metamorphing into Greek Papadon.
Hey, listen. He's a great mind for the business. But anyway. But on the side note, folks, this Friday, VXS returns to action live from Queens, New York, where you can check out Spencer Slade along with some guy named Greek Savage. Now, in all seriousness, check out Greek Savage along with his client, Spencer Slade, as they dominate. I have no idea who he's facing, but with Savage in Spencer Slade's corner, it's going to be one hell of a matchup. I guarantee it. So, but anyway, folks, this Saturday at 5 o'clock in the morning, our time, but I think 6 p.m. their time, which is like 13 hours ahead, it is the Elimination Chamber live from Perth, Australia. And they also announced that's what I just said that, Savage. I just said that. Maybe turn up your hearing aids. Maybe you can hear me better. So.
Whoa, what was that? I couldn't hear you.
Exactly. Which they actually announced last night that on Thursday at 11 o'clock at night, our time, is the press conference for Elimination Chamber. So John's gonna be doing the live watch along of that.
Actually, I might.
Oh God.
I seriously might do that, actually.
Why?
I know. I can tell you why.
Because now.
All right.
Now. So again, 5 o'clock our time in the morning. There is actually one place that's doing a freaking mimosa and suplex watch along party.
Yeah. AJ Pan and
Yeah, I don't remember where in the city though.
Jimmy J, I think.
Yeah, but I think that's actually a freaking hilarious idea. But anyway, there's four matches and one in-ring segment taking place. I'll tell you quickly the in-ring segment. It is the Grayson Waller effect with Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins.
Yes. Now here we go.
It's only 4 matches.
Let's see if these previews will take longer than the show itself.
Probably.
Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest take on the team called the New Catch Republic.
Which is Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, correct?
Yes. Do we get new tag team champions coming out of the chamber?
I don't think so, unfortunately. I don't think so because Judgment Day, they're on a roll right now. I have a feeling they're going to have it until WrestleMania.
Which then they'll lose it to Awesome Truth.
Yes. I've said that for months now.
I'm going to hold
DIY.
Why?
Or DIY.
Oh, I thought you said or why.
No, DIY. Next.
I'm going to hold up for the 2 chamber matches till the end. Because I have a match here that I think should be the main event.
Oh, I know where you're going with. Go ahead.
Nia Jax takes on Mommy.
Rhea Ripley. Next.
Yeah, I think it's kind of obvious because you know, Mommy's always on top. Moving on, we'll go to the women's elimination chamber match first. We got Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Raquel Rodriguez.
First of all, good seeing Raquel Rodriguez come back after a few months off the injured list. But I think we all know what's going to happen.
Liv Morgan gets the win. No, I kid.
No, Bianca. I mean, not Bianca. Becky.
I read something today because Jade was supposed to be in this match.
Yeah, but I think they're holding her off.
Well, they said she will be at Mania, either in a match with Nia or Bianca. The reason why they're holding off on this is because they don't want her to get a loss so early in her run.
That's smart, actually.
I didn't even give my predictions. For the tag title match, I agree. I think Priest and Balor retain. It's so odd. Unfortunately, this pay-per-view, 3 out of 4 of the matches are so obvious.
It's very predictable.
The men's elimination chamber match.
Well, hold on. You didn't say the other 2 matches of your opinion.
Oh yes. Becky, I think, gets the women's. I think here would be a curveball if they want to go this route. Tiffany Stratton.
I was going to throw in Tiffany, but have her as part of the final 2.
Yeah. Oh no, that I agree on.
Because especially with the history that both Becky and Tiffany have from NXT. Ooh.
But I think you get Tiffany against Rhea in Philly. I think you got a future star right here.
Yeah,
what's up?
But I think it's gonna be Becky and Rhea, which I'm totally fine with.
Oh no, but they've been teasing that I think since last year's WrestleMania.
Yeah, they did. But you know what? Honestly, I'm okay with it.
And then as far as Rhea and Nia, it's going to be Rhea. Let's call a spade a spade.
I'm trying to think what else. For the women's one, because you think about this, you have former tag champs in Liv and Raquel.
Yes.
You have Bianca Belair, who's basically, who actually has won a chamber match in the past, so she has experience in becoming victorious. Tiffany Stratton, brand new up and comer, and they strapped a freaking rocket to her. Becky is Becky, and Naomi.
Yeah, like I said, all of these matches, all these women, they can all make the argument. But I think realistically, if you want to put the curveball in there, have it be Tiffany.
But like I said, I think she's going to be part of the. I think she's going to be either the final 2 or final 3.
But I think there's big things for her this year.
Oh, absolutely.
But now let's talk about the men's, because the men's, like I said before, with the exception of 2 of the guys, you can make an argument for 4 of the guys. Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley, LA Knight, Kevin Owens, and your United States champion Logan Paul.
First of all, that's one hell of a lineup for the Elimination Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
That's one hell of a lineup. I think, Hey, Lance, welcome to the party. 2.5 hours later, but hey, welcome to the party.
What's going on, Lance? We're talking about twiddling our thumbs.
Well, I'm twiddling my thumbs. He's getting ready for his 28th colonoscopy.
Okay, but go on.
Who are the 2 that you were referring to that are not that you don't have an argument for?
Bobby Lashley and Logan Paul.
Really?
I say Logan Paul because he has the U.S. title right now.
Doesn't mean anything.
But I also think Bobby Lashley, just because of how they've been booking him, I think you could easily make the argument for Drew. You can sure as hell make the argument for Randy. LA Knight, I think, should have gotten a freaking World Heavyweight title shot long ago. And Kevin Owens, I think, is somebody else who I think should have gotten it very easily.
Here's what I think is going to happen, though.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to be Orton.
Who do you see that winning?
It's not going to be Orton because I think they're teasing Orton and Solo for Mania.
So Solo can now go 0-24 then?
Yes. Trying to think what else. I've been hearing about this for a while, but this could be the start of Logan Paul and LA Knight for the US title.
That's been teased for a while now.
Yeah, but I think the Chamber can be the place where they can start it.
But what isn't that started at Money in the Bank last year when LA Knight cut the promo saying how Logan Paul makes drinks for how did he phrase it? I think like 14-year-old girls or something.
Oh no, it was videos.
Oh yeah.
And douchebag drinks.
Hey, their drinks are good.
I rest my case.
Hey, what do you think I'm going to have for Saturday when we go up to UWA?
Well, that depends. You're going to be shoving down bacon strips down your throat again, like Ace?
That conversation will never be had again.
Or that wrapping that you're sitting there so succulently enjoying.
Hey, I like. Nope. Let's go on. Let's go on.
Got him. So, Lashley, I don't think it's gonna be Lashley because I think they're teasing him and Cross. Which now only leaves McIntyre and Owens. I think it's going to be Drew.
That's the only one that makes sense.
Oh, okay. I think it's going to be Drew, and this is what's going to happen. Hear me out.
I'm listening.
Storytelling. It's going to be Drew and Seth at Mania. But there's one other person that's on the prowl. Senor Money in the Bank. Damian Priest. And I said this to you before. I think it was on here or off camera. Judgment Day loses because I have a feeling they're teasing Damian Priest to be gone from Judgment Day. I have a very strong feeling. They're gonna lose the tag titles like earlier in the day. And then when it comes to, him trying to cash in on money, cash in his Money in the Bank for the World Heavyweight title match, out comes, Priest and one, not Priest, out comes, Balor and JD, saying like, no, don't do this yet. And Drew and Priest would be sick and Priest has had enough of them saying, has had enough of them. What? The Rock versus Seth for the... Then what's the point of the fucking Elimination Chamber then? Anyway. Priest,
No, go on what you say, because I've heard that theory before.
Oh, God. What's he going to do? Rock's going to insert himself? Oh, God. Priest is, saying, you know what? I've had enough. I'm cashing in whenever I can. He actually he cashes in. And actually it'll be, I got it. McIntyre beats Seth Rollins clean, and then he cashes in on Drew McIntyre, turning Priest face, and McIntyre, full blown heel as always, but also him helping out Judgment Day, but not being a part of it.
Okay.
That way you can see Senor Money in the Bank as the World Heavyweight Champion.
That I could. And hold on, I just want to see who made that comment about with Rollins. Oh, that was Mark. That was Mark, but it's funny though, because I've heard that theory before about Rock and Seth. Because the theory I've heard is Rock plays the I'm on the board of directors card.
I'm not on.
And all of a sudden, magically, somebody gets taken out.
So if that was the case, then who would you want to get taken out? Out of those six.
It wouldn't be Drew because the Bloodline helped Drew last night on Raw. Because I think he has a title, and I said it before. If it was any of them, I think it should be Logan. No. Better. I got a better one. Lashley. Because then you can play it off on TV that the guys who attacked him were Cross and Authors of Pain.
Actually, yeah, that could be a good point.
And then that's how you set up the 6-man tag match at Mania in a Philly street fight.
Or the Raw after Mania.
But that's how, because I thought about it, and I'm like, who, after you asked that question, I'm like, at first I was like, Logan, I'm like, no. You go Bobby, boom, that's how you get Bobby to Mania. If they don't have Seth versus Rock, then what are they going to have Rock do at Mania? He's more likely to be in a tag match night one.
Of course.
So it's going to be I have a feeling we're going to see Rock Night 2. I just have this gut telling me we're going to see him somehow, some way appear at Night 2.
Of course. I feel that. I feel that too.
But have a couple more announcements I want to make, and then we're going to wrap up. In case you just joined us, next week we are going to have a sit-down interview with the All-Father Darius Carter. We will have a lot more talent coming on from Bree Combination. And also, I'd like to make this mention now that live 2 p.m. Eastern or 2:15, depending on, in the 2 o'clock hour, we will be live from UWE up in Oneida, New York, for their kickoff show ahead of their set of tapings that they're doing, where we will have one of our confirmed guests will be the one and only Fox Vineyard coming on after he does his seminar. As far as other announcements, that's really it for right now. But Ryan, I'm gonna put the full screen on you quickly. Final thoughts and what do you got coming up and all that stuff.
All right, so final thoughts. Great having Papa Don on. If you didn't get a chance to watch the interview, definitely go back and watch this episode. Phenomenal interview, especially when he talks about his story with Jorge LaBestia for this Saturday Psycho Circus. You can catch me this weekend. This weekend I'll be up at UWE for their set of tapings. The 9th of March, I am back with WrestlePro as they return to Rahway. Phenomenal card on that one. March 16th, I'm not only going to be appearing at Big Event, courtesy of Beyond the Barricade, but I will also be at Victory Pro Wrestling later on that night. March 22nd, Invictus is back, baby. They are in Roselle Park, New Jersey. March 24th, it's Creative Pro Wrestling. March 30th, Ace Pro Wrestling in, I almost said Wallington, but no, it's Teaneck, New Jersey, with Destined for Greatness, which, by the way, already announced earlier today. The former Ace Heavyweight Champion, the Jurassic one-on-one. What the hell just happened?
Keep going.
The Jurassic Juggernaut going one-on-one against Wrecking Ball Legursky. Obviously, you'll find me at RexFest on April 4th, as well as part of Battleground with Mr. Blaine on the 5th at the ECW Arena. April 20th, I'm back at Reality Fight. Oh, there's that handsome, sexy bastard himself. Oh, wait, that's me. Yes, as you can see right there, I'll be appearing at RexFest, announcing all fucking 5 hours of wrestling. Fantastic. And of course, as always, the Around the Rose podcast is the official RexFest post show, even though John likes riding my coattails after I announce that I'm going to be part of the show. And there it is, the Block Party meet and greet for BCW with special guest, BCW owner Timothy Embler. Back on me, please.
Hold on, one quick question.
What?
Has that settled in for you yet?
Dude, I feel like popping out. Just another day in the office.
Okay.
You have to understand, John. I've done a lot in this business.
Yes, you have.
So, just like Papa Don said, every day is just like a day in the office. April 20th, I'm back at Reality Fighting MMA up in Connecticut. April 27th, I may be back with another MMA promotion in Queens. TBD. Trying to think of what else off the top of my head. Oh, yeah, April 13th, VPW, Blood, Sweat, and 8 years of Creative Pro Wrestling. No, Victory Pro Wrestling. Not Creative Pro, fuck. Victory Pro Wrestling. And, trying to think of anything else. Holy shit, there's a lot going on. I'm picking up now. I actually got a couple of dates set up for fucking May. We're only in February. And I will say this also, in 2024, I will be reaching a milestone in my career. I don't know where, I don't know when, But at some point, I would have announced my 400th career event, which is insane. As you can see right there on the bottom, you can follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Ryan_MC92. Instagram and Facebook, you can find this ugly mug. That's me. And again, for those that do follow my social media pages or don't follow, I'm going to release it right here. As per fan demand from this past weekend of both VPW and Create Pro Wrestling, from the 600 plus fans, I thank you for lighting the fire in my ass for what I'm about to say. Sexy Ryan merch will be coming out very, very soon. And that is pretty much it. And no, I will not be up at 5 a.m. to watch Elimination Chamber like John is.
Can we get your OnlyFans?
Oh, yes, for $69 a month. For the month. But if I have it by July as a special birthday month celebration, new subscribers get 69% off. And I'm back in the solo screen again. What the fuck? I'm done.
Well, guys, this has been a fun night just having Ryan having OnlyFans. Just yep. In all seriousness, I'll put myself on. So, guys, that's where you can find me. Very easy to find. That was a softball joke there. On X, it's at John_Blaine. Instagram and Facebook. Just search for this beautiful, handsome man. As far as my final thoughts, these next 6 weeks are going to be a crazy fucking ride. We got a lot of stuff going on for the podcast. We have a lot of interviews coming up. Like I mentioned before, Darius Carter coming up next week. Tomorrow, actually, Ryan, and you know about this one.
This one I do.
The one, the only, Joey Conway will be joining us. Talk about his, like I said earlier in the show, his match of the night he had with Jay Lethal this past Saturday at Dynasty. It was all a dream. And also talk about his upcoming match at Rex Fest and probably some other stuff as well. So we got that coming up. Like I said, we got the podcast coming up on Saturday, live from UWE up in Oneida, New York. Darius Carter next Thursday. And sprinkled in probably a few others in the next couple of weeks. But guys, like I said, we're doing this because of you guys. And it seems like, yes, we have a lot going on right now, but that's because people are starting to know who the Around the Ropes podcast is. Not sure when yet, but also tune in this week for a live episode number 2 of UWE Rewind, because it was reported earlier today that episode 2 will be dropping tomorrow night. So I have to figure out time-wise when that's going to happen. More than likely, Craig Palmer, owner and operator of UWE, will join me once again as we recap and give you guys our take on what happens in the episodes. Which, again, guys, like we mentioned before, hold on, let me take myself off the screen here for a second. This man right over here will be making his debut at the next set of tape-ins.
About time he called me.
Hey, he was going to call you.
Yeah, then he probably got high and forgot about me.
But again, guys.
I kid, Craig. I kid.
Again, guys, like I said, if you want to find out anything that's going on with the network, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook. Hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing. It does wonders for us. That's where you'll get all your upcoming YouTube exclusives. We just did a YouTube exclusive a couple days ago with Phil McManus of Blitzkrieg Pro ahead of their show coming up this coming Saturday, which will see the match of Cruel taking on Heath Slater. Also on that card will be Marcus Mathers taking on TJ Crawford, two guys that Ryan knows very well. So we had that. We just did a sit-down interview with the new general manager of the Diamonds division over in Dynasty, Kristen DeVille, or as I called her in the interview, the Jim Ross to Johnny Patches being Jerry the King Lawler. We have that. We have the interview that will be dropping probably tomorrow, more than likely, or later today, depending on how awake I am. Of the interview I did last night with Greek Savage and Spencer Slade, which I'll tell you this much, guys, it was you'll see it, trust me. But guys, again, I speak for Ryan on this. I appreciate everybody who has supported us, everybody who's commented tonight, all the congratulations I've got, that we have gotten for the show. And the big thing with us is we don't slap our legs. They said I was smart. They said I should have gone to college. Where did it all go wrong? Where did it all go wrong?
When they told you were smart.
Was it all a dream? We'll catch you guys next week.
Bye.